Hello, everyone, and welcome here to TownHall Heroes episode number 106. My name is Solid Jake, and this week we are here with BKB, Dunk Train, McIntyre, and Glaurung, and we're talking about Dreamhack Austin, Medivh, and Chromie, the new ranking system, patch notes, and then Dreamhack Tours, which BKB gets to fly to in a few hours. BKB, how ready are you?
Hey, quite ready. Like, we've been practicing, prepping some stuff. This time we didn't go to boot camp. And I think this time we have, like, even though last time we went with big confidence in the tournament, but I think we tunneled too much on the drafts, and this time we will just take it, like, a bit different, and I think it should be fine. I think we're quite prepped and we're ready. We really want to go to Worlds, so we'll do our best, obviously.
Is your dragon ready?
My dragon's always ready. Like, that's why he's here.
Okay. Dunk Train, second place at Dreamhack Austin. So very close. A great series at the end of the day. How you feeling, man?
Pretty good. You know, it is what it is. There was like a lot of, I don't know, under hype. I want to say maybe that's not the right word, but everyone was really underestimating us, like going into the tournament or whatever. So at least we showed up and we played well until those last few games of the tournament. So, I mean, you know, I'm happy with the team's performance, and second isn't anything to scoff at, but it is what it is.
Awesome, man. Well, McIntyre, congratulations on qualifying for Sweden, my friend, and welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate giving me a chance to come and hang out with you guys. So,
yeah. How'd you feel about the overall experience at Dreamhack?
I think Dreamhack was a really good event for us. Obviously, with Big being a new addition, we didn't, the change of Urho off of the team. The dynamic at LAN was going to be a little different, and we knew that going into it. And after, I guess, the event, it turned out working really well for us. Dreamhack obviously was a really nice event. Had a good venue, had a good player lounge. Lots of positive things, but I think overall the experience for me was really positive, so I enjoyed it a lot.
Cool. We'll talk about Dreamhack more in a little bit. Glaurung, it's been a while, my friend.
Hey, how's it going, man? It has been a few months at least. How have you been, Jake?
Oh, I've been wonderful, Glau, but Glau, baby, the defenders, you guys still made it in top 4. It looked like some of the older brands and heroes were phasing out. I mean,
for us, we struggled a bit day one. GFE, there were a lot of technical issues. I think in one of our games, we actually paused, went upstairs, ate for an hour and a half, came back down to the game, unpaused and played. There were just massive technical issues. But day one in general, with COG, past 2 lands anyway, we've kind of played bad. And then day 2, we've kind of stepped up our game and it's been a little bit more clean. But GFE showed up. They had some good drafts. And game 1, they beat us. Game 2, we beat them. Game 3, we lost. And then we ended up 2-0ing Tempo in a very unclean set. It was throws on either side. A very dirty set. It was just not good to watch. It was I don't know, man. It was NA HOTS. It was really, really awkward. But then the next day came around. We ended up showing up versus AA, which was nice. And then set versus C9. We weren't ready for the Rexar. And game 2, we threw a little bit, but they had a solid draft. And
game 2 was close. I felt like it really easily could have gone to a game 3 that set.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can see we do have all the stats up here. The bracket we had for the top 4 playoffs: Gale Force versus Naventic, and then COG versus Cloud9. Now, the first thing I want to point out is the fact that this is potentially the first time in a major event where Tempo Storm, it is the first time where they did not make it in top 4 ever.
Lowest they've ever placed, I think.
In a North American event for sure.
Mm.
And that's, just kind of shows the state of the scene. A lot of the teams are a lot more even right now. There were quite a few game 3s, especially when it came to the group stage. And, honestly, I think that's a good thing. This was a very exciting tournament with a lot of very close matches. But BKB, how much did you get to watch? I mean, I know you're preparing for tours.
Most of the stuff, it's also watching the games. I got some ideas for the drafts and stuff. So I think it was important for myself to watch, and I watched most of the games. And actually, would just want to say that I'm happy that NA level in NA is growing. Definitely, like the teams are getting better, and there's more close matches, like you mentioned. And most of the games were really fun. So
Yeah,
No.
and Dreamhack was insane. Like the player hospitality from Twitch, they covered that, and they pretty much kicked ass. They had like masseuse in the player lounge. That blew my mind.
Yeah,
And-
that was cool.
The catering was like better than most events. I'd say it was pretty good food, and for the most part, you had a question, they would help you out with it pretty quick. Like aside from I have a lot of issues with the way production ended up going, the delays in between games, and all of the issues that ended up happening on LAN. But overall, like when it comes to the player side of things, it was a really well-run event.
Yeah, we'll get to those issues in a moment because I do agree that's something very important to talk about. But let's just open up with the hospitality sense, right? So this was really kind of cool. If you guys have been to a North American event before, usually it's just the organizer like ESL or Blizzard or whomever running the event. But Twitch actually came on board and played a big role in making sure that they were helping accommodate players and casters. So even when I got there, like I didn't have to check into my hotel. They had a Twitch desk where they had my keys for me, and I didn't have to think about it. Like usually have to like put a credit card down in the room. Like no, Twitch had you covered. They had everything done, and cars to pick us up, the whole deal. So I was really impressed with that and thought that was kind of cool. And I don't know that Twitch has ever done that for an event like Dreamhack or MLG or whatever.
Yeah, my guess is it's probably something they did because it's the first North American DreamHack and they wanted to make an impression. If I had to guess, because North America's home ground for them,
True.
And they definitely went above and beyond to set up everything for the talent essentially at the event. So that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
I would say that wasn't the event also like co-host. I mean, like if you looked at the general public, they all had those Twitch bags on, right? Like they had a huge Twitch thing when you first walked in. So
well,
I'm sure
that's pretty common for things like PAX, right? PAX East, PAX Prime. There's always a big Twitch booth with lots of Twitch swag. That's very common. But the actual player accommodation thing was new to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the first time I experienced it. Like even at PAX Prime, it was just we were handled by like MSI and ESL. There was no interaction with Twitch really, but like
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully they keep doing that for future like North American DreamHacks. That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's still, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it made the
Okay.
impression, dude. I mean, it really did. It made a difference.
But outside of the hospitality, there were like, Glowring mentioned in the pre-show that there was a lot of problems with the technical issues, and those things need to be fixed because when we actually check the viewership, like some of the people, like we check the viewership how it goes, like it goes up or goes down, and there were actually like big jumps, from having a decent amount of viewership and then it goes to really low. So those things need to be definitely fixed. And
from my perspective, if I was not a player at the event, there's a 0% chance I would have watched that event. Like, honestly, it's like 11 games took something like 12 hours. That's just unbelievable. Like, I don't think that's acceptable. And we've had previous LANs where Blizzards ran it, like ESL Studios, and it's still like pretty fast, pretty clean, and the breaks aren't as long. But it's just like, I don't understand as a viewer. You have to be super passionate as a viewer to actually sit through that and watch it, because it takes up your entire day, and most of your day you're staring at a timer that counts down, and the timer may potentially reset back to 10 minutes. So it's just like nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
it's like
okay. So that was my biggest gripe was I don't think that's ever a good situation where you have a timer that counts down and then you reset it. Like, commit to it. If you put a timer up, you're committed, right? And even when I was a caster, I'm sitting there in the crowd because it's like an 8-minute break, and I'm watching this 8-minute timer, and I'm like, having a conversation with someone from the crowd or whatever, and I'm about to go on, and they're like, sorry, I gotta go. And then I sit down at the desk, and then it's like, boom, 8 minutes more. It's like, oh, okay, I guess not. So it's hard to like get in the zone as a player I would imagine, and even as a commentator, you know, I'm prepping, getting my thoughts gathered, and it was definitely challenging, even being part of the show. But I can't imagine what it was like as a viewer.
How many people did they bring in for talent total? 6, 7, maybe?
I think it's 6.
I mean, I definitely think there does have to be some breaks so everyone can like relax. And, you know, they did try and do a couple of the filler banter style things while there were technical issues, as well as birthday, stuff like that. But like, if you have that many members in the talent, I feel like you should never reset the timer, because you have like 6 or 7 people who all are very passionate about the game and who all are personalities who have pretty good charisma. I think you should just be able to throw the camera on them. And similar to, like, if you are familiar with watching Smash, you can just sit there and watch the commentators the entire time. They just entertain you like crazy. And then when the game's on, you're like, oh, nice. I forgot what I was originally doing on this stream, but now there's a game. And, like, I don't know. I think maybe if there is going to be long breaks, give the casters and the talent an opportunity to prove themselves as far as banter goes. Like, there's some potential there for entertainment.
Didn't Caldor like talk for an hour? Like, I remember being in the player booth, and I was like, Caldor is a monster. He's just still going like during that huge break. Like,
well, so
shout outs to Caldor for keeping that together. But
we had BlizzCon last year where they did like the 3-hour podcast as well, and because they had tech issues there. But even at DreamHack, when we had that really extended break, the one where you said, Glowering, that you went upstairs and ate food, they like dismissed you from the desk.
Yeah, it was an hour and a half.
We offered. We said, you know, hey, we're happy to come on and just bring people on stage. There's a lot of personalities like Pally Time and whatnot that are at the event we could interview, and they were like, they weren't you know, committed to it. They didn't love the idea. So I'm not going to push the issue. We offered. It's like, look, we're happy to go and just, you know, entertain the audience rather than them sit there on a break. But their mentality was, overall, they don't want to get people's anticipations up that a game's about to start, because they had no idea how long it was going to take to come back, and that was their decision to not do it. So I respect that for sure. It depends on how you want to look at it, because a lot of viewers will just tune in and be like, hey, when's the game start? And then they're sitting there watching for 40 minutes because they're only half paying attention, and they're even more annoyed the game hasn't started. So it kind of goes both ways, but I do agree that having some kind of presence during massive downtime would be better.
So I don't know if this is a popular opinion, but for me, when I watch events and I attend events, like, it seems really structured and organized, as far as we're going to, as soon as the game ends, go over the replay analysis, and there's always like a huge amount of structure and less like freelancing, but in Heroes of the Storm anyway. But you look at, I hate comparing Heroes to Smash because they're like so different. It just is a more relaxed environment, and I like that style of casting a little bit more. Like, I like there being structure, but occasionally, like you said, bringing MF Pally Time and stuff on, that could be exciting for the viewer, just randomly doing stuff like that. Bring on a random personality that you didn't expect. You see Trixler in the crowd, go make him say a few words. You see, you know, stuff like that. I think that could be fun.
But those things need to be prepared. Like, if like, or the organizers know that there's going to be long breaks, like the casters, the desk, the host desk, they need to know that, and then they maybe can prep stuff, you know.
No, it's not as BKB. It's not as hard as you think. I mean, in this situation, I had just come back from the Heroes Illuminati meeting, and like Pally Time and other people were there as well. So for me to bring Pally Time on the desk and just talk about Chromie and Medivh would have been the easiest thing in the world, and it would have been engaging for the viewer too.
Okay, like, it's just I watch a lot of Dota, and they have long breaks, but they have all the time these like cozy seats, like, you know, like big beds and stuff, and they're like talking about the game, and they have like some kind of funny like show you know, in between the break. And that's what maybe even gets more viewers or keeps the viewers. But these things can happen if we have long breaks. Like, it was just like, first of all, long breaks, and also all the technical issues, they're unhealthy for the players, unhealthy for the casters, and the most unhealthy it's for the viewers.
Yeah.
So at least, like, I don't know, I think still like casters should like anticipate that these things are gonna happen and maybe prepare some stuff. But I was like really, really happy to see that pro players after the games were with the desk, you know, and they were like ask questions and stuff. Like, I was really happy to see. It was really interesting, you know, to see the person talking with all of you guys and interview.
I love that.
That was a good thing. Yeah,
I like
that's what other. Yeah, that's what other games do. And I mean, I think Heroes should just like take some I don't know, look what other tournament games do, you know, like in League or Dota, and maybe learn something, one thing or two, because
That's a good idea. Like in Dota, for example, some broadcasts, not every broadcast, but some broadcasts will like do the interview after the game, but they'll also have like personalities that they'll bring on to help commentate for like one game or something like that, just to give the viewer, like you're watching Dota and suddenly you see like Arteezy casting a game, you're like, whoa, what's going on here? And it's like it keeps the viewer stimulated. And I'm probably gonna phrase this wrong, but when I watch Heroes, sometimes it feels like there's not a lot of soul. Like there's a lot of organization, and I'm not saying that's bad about the talent. Like the talent, everyone has soul and passion, but the way it's organized and the way the tournament organizers go about doing it, it just feels like there's not that much soul in the event.
I would rephrase it. I would say that there's nothing fresh. Like there's all the time it's like the casters casting it, but if you compare to other games, there's something new to the cast. Like or the desk is fresh, like they have fresh ideas, or like the casting itself has some, I don't know. But it has nothing to do with like casters not doing their job.
Oh
like,
no, yes,
really...
yeah, I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was the organizers, the way they want the event to be run. I think, in my opinion, maybe is not best for the viewer. The way they have been in the past.
If there are no breaks and everything runs smooth, like I still think it's fine. But it doesn't hurt to do some shows in between the breaks or get somehow even more viewers, you know?
Like there needs to be fluff content is what you're saying, basically.
Yeah,
like you need to have people who are doing things that are fun and not serious, like in your cast, to get people to stay motivated between games. And I agree.
I mean,
entirely.
That's what
best example is 2GD, right? From Dota. Like he's crazy, like he talks dumb stuff and people like it. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's just a small example that I can give.
I mean, that's why Claire and I came up with the whole happy birthday thing for Zoya, and
that was
gave
sick.
Him the cake and stuff.
That was sick.
If that was your guys' improv, like I applaud you, because that break as a player, I was standing on stage, just like not doing anything, and then I start hearing people sing happy birthday, and I'm just like, it was even as a player, just hilarious.
He was so mad. He was so tilted.
Yeah, he went off the desk, right?
Yeah.
Like he went away a bit. But yeah, I was laughing my ass off at home. That was like genius. These things, like, I don't know, it keeps viewership and it even maybe gains. Like if you see something like that when you open a stream, like someone is gonna stay because he wants to find out what the fuck is happening, you know?
Yeah.
And plus,
it's true.
So
all right, well, I think we can all agree that the downtime wasn't ideal for the viewership, and we know that much, and we all agree. But moving forward, like Dunk Train, what was it like in terms of like the administration? Like, were the admins concise? Was it clean? Obviously, the games are taking a while to start, but were you stressed out as a result?
No, to us, like that kind of thing, we're used to it. It doesn't bother us. But I would say it was annoying just because I knew how long it was ending up causing the breaks between games for viewers. Like using third-party voice chat systems instead of a hard line, for one thing, costs a lot of time. You have more mic issues, you have server issues, that kind of dumb thing. Using, like, I know we still can't use the in-game draft system, but like that's a problem because there were multiple times where like we would get a link and then like an admin would say to ready up or something, but like we were in the middle of working on mics, but the admin just readies us up, and then like we have to restart a whole draft because like we were literally unable to talk, and the admin like made us start the draft. And like, I mean, all that kind of thing, it just adds up to causing so much time delay in between games. It's unreal.
And it's not fair for the viewer either. You see a draft start, you're like pumped, the game's about to begin, and then suddenly you see something crazy like a Stitch's first pick, because that's what happened when the draft broke between us. I mean, like
when the timer just like ticks down to 0, like production should immediately know, oh, there was a problem here. We should probably stop showing this draft when first pick doesn't do anything for 90 seconds. Like, okay, maybe something's wrong, you know?
Yeah. That was a bit confusing for us too, because we had to treat it like it was a real draft, and we're just like, we don't know what's happening.
There was like 2 spicy bans too. Like I remember because one time it was against C9. They were like, "Oh, that's a weird ban. Like what is that?" Like, their headset's got to be not working right now.
Yeah.
There.
I mean, we had so many headset problems at that event, like unbelievable. Like every single game, it felt like someone's headset was going wrong, and like we tried to use Discord, and then we tried to use TeamSpeak or something, and like that's why like having hardlined headsets, I think, is like the number one thing for minimizing downtime, in my opinion, is just like that way you don't have to deal with people forgetting accounts for login things, with forgetting servers, with anything like that. Just hardline your headsets, please. Events.
Yeah, I agree with that. Some teams would use Discord, others TeamSpeak, others Skype, things like that. It's just not okay. But also, like, I don't know if you guys experienced this too, like Mac and Dunk, but when you were on stage, did the production crew like bump your monitors and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Like that makes me so mad.
Like the cameraman's walking behind you.
Yeah.
Oh
This-
no!
and then during the grand finals too, this was one that was really big. The CS:GO finished, and there was like a rave going on, so it was just vibrating our table. It was like, and we're just like, Jesus, and it's like, boom, boom, everything's vibrating. That was, like, are we all vibrating right now?
Yeah.
Cameraman
Wow.
walking behind us, like we're just like,
Someone
all right,
paid.
I guess we're playing.
They got bribed or something. I don't know. That's fucking weird though.
Yeah.
Cameraman bumps Biggie's monitor. He's like, dude, this guy just bumped my monitor, guys. Like, what the?
That's not okay.
Mhm.
That is actually
That is not
unacceptable.
okay. Yeah.
The players should like have their space, and that space should be unadulterated. It's completely fine to be filmed and stuff like that.
You mean there should be boots? Is
Just
that
put
what
me
you're
in a
saying,
booth,
Byron?
yeah, and then
Oh,
stay
in a
out of my
booth?
booth.
Yeah, boots would be the boots would be
It's
really
just
good.
insane. Like the stage itself has to be put together pretty quickly, so it's not the most sturdy. Like when people walk on, the entire thing shakes a little bit.
Mhm.
But like I'm okay with that. That's okay because that's what you have to do to build the stage. But when it comes to your actual camera crew, like setting up a tripod, my chair during the first game of our side dunk was just being constantly shaken, and like so I just ended up sitting up like this, and it was completely fine. But it's still just so annoying when there's outside stuff messing.
But those kind of factors are what makes LAN special too.
Right,
that kind of thing is the thing that like sets the teams apart that can form on LAN and not, is like that weird shit happens and you have to deal with it. Like
exactly.
Not that
I
it's okay. Like not that it's a good thing that it exists, but it's like
I mean,
like that's just some of the shit that comes along with trying to create a live audience at the same time as an online one.
They had the. We were talking about buying USB ports too, because you had to throw your cords behind the desk and then climb under. That's kind of, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm
All right. So, I mean, in the end, it seems like the crew might have been a little bit sloppy, and it seems like that could be improved upon for sure. And also, equipment-wise, like there needs to be a level up. The machines aren't designed for quick access and entry. Did you guys have solid-state drives that you brought in with your files, or no?
No.
They were just PCs.
They were just PCs. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one thing that ESL does that helps ESL go very quickly is every player has their own SSD. They just walk up, plug their SSD in, and then all their settings, all their files, all their mouse sensitivity, their audio, everything is exactly how they want it. And that's one way that ESL helps eliminate a lot of downtime. So that's definitely something Dreamhack should be doing that would eliminate that a lot of that downtime. Also, I mean, the fact that you have to like climb under and put the cables in, obviously I'm not aware. I'm not on the desk. That's insane. That's actually insane.
And like there were some of the USB ports on the back of the PC that didn't work. That was like freaking, when we tried to go to the practice area, like we were freaking out because we thought our keywords weren't going to work. In the practice area, you had to play a match too. Like in the practice area, no soundproofing whatsoever. Like you had to play the stage B matches or whatever. So there was like nothing protecting you at all.
People watching behind you.
There were people watching behind you. Like you were in the public practice. Anyway, so like there, we were trying to hook in our keywords for the first time and stuff, and like some of the USB ports didn't work, and like we were freaking out because our gear wasn't working, and then you had to like plug it into like specific ports on the back or whatever because the other ones weren't. I don't know, dude.
And the lights on the backstage, like if you were facing towards the stage at all, every 5 seconds you'd just be blinded while you were playing. It was ridiculous.
Oh, you mean during the training area?
In the practice area,
The practice area,
Because the practice area, that's where we played versus both Gale Force and Tempo Storm. So it's like it's not really a practice area. That it's like an actual competition area
where the CS:GO players are practicing.
Yeah, too.
Right beside of you. While you're in
there was a lot of chaos.
Yeah. Luckily, Niventic was #1 seed, so We never had to go back there.
Feels good, man. Yeah, we had to play both our matches day one. We're back there, and it was like not that bad. I maybe am overreacting. The only really annoying thing, I don't mind if people are right behind me watching, but the lights, because they were bright ass stage lights too, just shining in your eyes, just was so crazy.
Even just being in the crowd, it was painful.
Somehow, when what you talked about, Jake, with the SSDs, like I don't know how they did it in Korea, but they got all of our stuff on stage. I never saw it happen. I don't know, Dunk, did you know what happened? Like, did they have SSDs there too? Like,
Yeah, they did.
okay, okay.
They had like the front loaded SSD ports where you just pop it out, pop a new one in. Like,
Okay.
takes 5 seconds. It's insane.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, every time we went on stage, they're like, "All right, reboot your computers," and then boom, everything's there. It was so nice. Like,
I mean,
I never even saw them do it. That's how clean they were making these transitions for us.
All right, so there's a combination of things. I mean, it sounds like planning for that kind of stuff to like expedience, right, wasn't there. And two, I don't know if they had the crew to do that as well. Like, yes, they're coming from Sweden, so this is their first American event, and that was like, it's obviously very difficult, but like, you look at PAX East, you look at PAX Prime, they like primarily use volunteers. And if you have like volunteered like stage managers, it's probably okay to have them move an SSD or something, right? Like, you just have to do like a day of training. And I don't know. I feel like that really hurt the viewership of Heroes in general, just not having that. But let's move on and talk more about the actual competition, more about the actual meta and what we saw over the weekend. And Tempo Storm actually did release a nice little meta snapshot that we can take a look at. And I mean, the number one bans, we can see that it was a lot of Tyrande. I think that's largely because of Cloud9. We saw a lot of Illidan banned, a lot of Tassadar banned, Li Ming banned, and Sonya banned. And just looking at the most picked heroes, I mean, I think the Warrior meta has been like this for a while now. KT, Li Ming, Falstad is the number one assassins. And then Uther, Rhaegar, Tassadar.
What caught me off guard, just looking at those stats, Falstad had a 33% win rate in 18 games. Like, that was pretty crazy to me.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really surprising. I mean, they are small sample size. Like, you can't take that much from it, but it is interesting.
He had one of the larger sample sizes of the heroes at the tournament, but still, it's like a ridiculously small sample size. 18 games is almost nothing, but compared to like Rexar, he had a sample size of 3 games. Yeah. You can, so it's more of a sample size, so you can read into it a little bit more, but at the same time, you also have to look at what teams were drafting Falstad when. But I just thought that was really interesting.
Those are still numbers, though. So.
I wonder why. It's weird. Like, Falstad, especially when you look at the Korean meta, is pretty heavily picked, and I want to say it's because NA. Like, when we went over there, we played Falstad, and they picked up a lot from us. And then, you know, because, like, they banned it against us and C9 when we went to Korea. The Koreans did. But now they've started to learn how to play it from us, and they're playing it better than we are. And, like, maybe we're getting worse at it. It's very interesting, like, because I think when the world stage happens again, Falstad is still going to be really high for them. And then in NA, it's almost like he's losing a lot of his and we're still dedicated to like KT, Li Ming, whereas they're not. Like, I mean, they'll pick it, obviously they're really good assassins, but Falstad I think has a lot of priority in Korea right now, like almost a 0 tier for them. So I found that interesting when you think about it.
Part of the reason why that may be, I'm just thinking about it, this could be completely wrong, but if you watch Korean Falstad players, they don't really do anything that won't work, like that doesn't have a 95% chance of success. Like, you'll see them fly Gust in situations where it's like, yes, that is the clear option where, that's what you want to do. But in NA, like,
YOLO.
It seems like there's way more non-calculated risks that people take, just random gusts that disrupt the fight in it. That could be God tier, you never know, but it could also be just like complete dog shit. You see people fly into like 4 people and just get instantly blown up, and it seems like
true of all of NA though, right?
Yeah.
Dude, like, people just are a lot less calculated, I would say, in average. Like,
the point that I was gonna say is, like, the reckless style of play works really well when people don't know how to play against Falstad initially. Like, that's why you see the crazy Gust plays 2 to 3 months back just doing so much work. But now everyone's starting to expect that crazy play, and they're preparing for it and playing around it a little bit more. So when people do those plays, it's way easier to punish. And that's what I think. It's harder to punish players in Korea based off the games I've played. I've never played against the Korean players like you guys. Yeah. But, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. They don't take too many risks. Most of their stuff is like calculated team play.
Mm-hmm. And, it's all it's pretty safe, and then they just one shot you. It's like you step up, and then all their ults come out, and you're dead. It's like, wow, that was quick. Yeah, but I think Falstad really suits their play style, and it was just weird that they just. I think what Glau said was correct. Is like they hadn't played against it, and if you don't play against it, you don't know how to handle it really. So like you can get punished for not understanding those reckless plays, and now that they've understood them. Like Falstad's a great wave clear, great soak, good disengage, good engage. Like he's a jack of all trade hero, and
he has a global.
Yeah, and he has a global. Yeah, exactly. He's got kind of everything. He's got burst. He's got sustained damage. He's got an escape. Like he's just a really good hero, and I think they figured that out. And I don't know where he's at in an A, especially with 33% win rate. I don't know. So it's interesting.
I think he still has potential to be one of the best assassins. It's just you gotta make more calculated plays and less risky plays, and then he'll become way more consistent than 33%. Because if you look at some of the games, even at the NA tournament where Falstad was picked and Falstad won, he made some crazy game-winning plays with his fly and ults and just the amount of burst he has. It's just we gotta tone it back a little bit, think to ourselves, all right, if I throw this Gust, what are the odds it kills my team? If it's like less than 5%, let's just, you just got to take more of those calculations into effect, and Falstad will be really, really good again. You see players like K1 and Zuna, he played a game on Falstad that was actually really impressive.
Vinix got 100% win rate on Falstad. Let me just throw that out there.
I mean,
he recklessly flew on middle on Cursed versus 1 versus 3, and he somehow got Gust only on KT, and they got you got a lot out of the kill. If you remember in Cursed, when he fucking flew, it was crazy. It was, I don't know. I wouldn't expect such a play.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the kind of when those are the plays that make Falstad a god, right? Whereas meanwhile, the other plays where Falstad flies Gust, and then the team's like, we just got Gusted into their team. Let's all hit our ults and kill them. Those are the bad Gusts.
Yeah.
I totally hear you. So that's it. He's the interesting stat, I think, of the tournament.
We'll talk more about Falstad when we get to the patch notes, because he is seeing some changes, and I'm curious to see what you guys think of the new Falstad that we're about to have in the patch with Chromie. But Max, I haven't seen these patch notes yet. Let me Google that.
Yeah, I have not. I haven't. I literally haven't read the patch notes. But continue. Sorry.
That's fine. It'll be that much more exciting for you to be excited and upset. Anyways, so let's continue on with Dreamhack. Let's just go and talk about the grand finals as the last thing. So Dunk, you guys lost game 1. The Medivh came out and you guys turned it around, and that's not something. It's for a lot of teams in grand finals. I feel like it's pretty snowbally, and you guys had 2 really clean games right after that. What was the mentality after game 1?
Well, game 1 was really, really, really close, honestly, overall. The game pretty much came down to, it was post level 20, all keeps up for both teams, and then I think we had a couple back-to-back team fights that we lost where Mac hit a huge Sunder and knocked Dream way into their team, and he got killed, and I couldn't follow up with the Ancestral, so we pretty much got punished pretty hard for playing the Zul that we're not super comfortable with, even though it's really good on that map. And then we knew going into game 2 and 3, we felt really comfortable on those maps, and our drafts were just really big comfort picks. So we felt good going to those games for sure. And we're the kind of team that's bet on land so much that, losing a game at the beginning of a set isn't a problem.
Yeah. Okay, so going into game 2 and 3, you guys were full-on Misha life. The crowd was chanting Misha. Misha was everyone's favorite part of the grand finals, I would say. Where do you guys put Misha or Rexar, I guess, as a hero right now? Because obviously he's seen some tweaks, the reduced cooldown on the charge for Misha, the additional range for the leash, and for the autos on Rexar.
I don't know. I think he's okay overall. He's good when people don't know what to do with him. He's good when people don't know what to do against him, and he's good in that specific composition we were running him in. But I don't think you can just pick him 24/7. Like, he's not that kind of hero. So I think he's in an okay place. Like, that's where he should be, right? He should be a niche hero, good in certain compositions. But if you identify that he's coming, he should be easy to play around. And I think all those things are true.
Don't you feel like that you need Tyrande when you go for Rexar? Like, you lose value out of him if you don't go with Tyrande?
Yeah, I do, and I think that's kind of like a fundamental problem maybe with the current hero roster is like there's no hero who can fill in for what Tyrande does. Like, there's no other hero who can make your kill potential so high, and that means that like there's a lot of hero picks that just don't work without Tyrande, and Rexar is one
enables, of them. Like Tyrande enables Rexar.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's it.
Rexar is like, the way I look at him is like Misha is a ward, and you can walk Misha around for vision. Kind of like Tassadar. Like,
yeah,
Tassadar is kind of a ward.
Late game Tass, yeah, for sure.
So he's the vision hero, and then in this case, because of Tyrande, if the Misha stuns you, which it should, because it's pretty easy to hit that stun, then the follow up just comes in. It's very hard to avoid. And if you use everything on Misha, then you get punished. Which COG had a good example of that against them on, I think, Spider Queen. They rooted Misha and tried to kill her. She didn't die, and then Cloud9 collapsed. And it's so it's like a frustrating. It's not such a problem if the Tyrande is not there, because the second you get stunned, this stun from Tyrande comes down and the mark happens, and that's kind of the enabler, right? Without that, it's like, if it's like an ETC power sliding in behind Misha, then you just kill ETC. But with the Tyrande, it's like you die before you can do anything. So it was really frustrating, especially being on the other end of it.
It's a 1.25 second stun on a 10-second cooldown, and because of what
stun.
Mac was saying, yeah, exactly. Like, Misha, she zones entire teams out because you can't put dump damage into her, otherwise you'll lose the team fight. So it's just like, if you can pair Rexar with Tyrande or like KT, ETC, I think the game you guys ran Rexar against Niventic, you had Tyrande, KT, ETC, just an insane amount of CC.
Honestly, we probably could have had literally any hero in the game in that Rexar slot and still probably won, because that's how the draft went. Like, I don't really know what to say about that.
Like, sometimes when you run kill comps, you take a risk. You're like, look, I'm going to run a kill comp. We might not have the best objective control or wave clear, but we're just going to kill you. And most of those comps are unsafe. Rexar gives you a safe stun. And good wave clear too. Post level 7, he has like really good wave clear.
Yeah,
he's pretty interesting. I'm not gonna say Rexar is good. All right, just it's not happening.
I mean, I don't think I would give him like a blank good qualification either. Right? He's niche.
He's just annoying.
He is super annoying to play against, though. That is true. Like, that might even be more impactful.
It's like murky. Like,
that might be more impactful actually than his actual kit and character, is just how annoying it is to play against him.
It's like, what the hell do I? Do I hit Misha? Like, I can't. You can't. Like, you kill her, she comes back. I don't. You gotta find a flank. Falstad maybe comes in.
Yeah.
So, all right. That's
you're
game
the ones. Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you're the ones engaging onto Rexar, like hard diving Rexar, I think he's a really weak pick.
Yeah.
But Rexar can be pretty strong if you have like a draft like C9 did against us, where they secure the Tyrande, or if they can secure like ETC KT like they had against Niventic. Yes. But like, when you're the team that has the kill comp, you're like, I'm gonna go in, kill one target, and then disengage. Rexar is perfect for that. He's got whatever the ult is called, Unleash the Boars. 40% slow. You can't sleep on that. Like, it's a
little 20.
It's a mini gust. It's a mini gust without gust.
Oh, come on, guys. Are you kidding me? You think
it's a disengage? It's a disengage.
Dude, before level 20, Boars shouldn't even count as a heroic. Like, it is a trash ability. It is honestly a trash ability. It's literally a better shot.
Dude, Dream literally throws Boars. He throws Boars just to throw Boars for vision. Dream does. Like,
You go back and watch the games. The ability is trash.
He just throws Boars into fog. Like,
why not?
Twin Shadows in League of Legends, if you're familiar with that. Like, Twin Shadows, by that ability, it throws 2 ghosts to scout for vision. It's the same thing, but post 20, it's pretty solid.
It's pretty good.
Post 20, it's a real ability.
Especially when you have Tyrande, Just hit E and click.
Yeah.
Stupid ass hero, dude.
What's the duration
Any
of the root
follow-up.
at 20? I forgot. Like
At 20, the root's 1.5 seconds.
0.5, yeah.
that's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's.
Right.
I mean.
Not OP.
it's-
Like I agree with Mac. I'm not gonna say that Rexar is like this revolutionary god tier hero, but he does have a place in the meta, and I respect that.
Yeah,
Oh, and
boards
there's
can
some
hit people
cool-
in fog.
There's some cool stuff you can do. Like you guys did it on Sky Temple. Dream was literally sitting by our well on bottom, capping the bottom temple, and like that was just insane. The new leash range is
Cool.
Yeah.
Fun and interactive.
I had a good time.
Cool.
I was
though.
like, hey, look, it's Misha. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
It's like, should I go pet the bear? Like, hey, Misha, what's up? And then it's like, boom, Toronto stone, boom, 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 boom. I was like murdered. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, yeah, no, that was, I whatever. We banned Toronto at game 4 and 5, and it was
yeah.
So
much easier for us.
So Toronto was banned in Game 4. This was Battlefield of Eternity, where Toronto's obviously very good in general, right? Just for Mark when it comes to the Immortal, so it makes perfect sense to ban her regardless. But there was one fight that I was actually really surprised that Cloud9 took in general. King Calf did not have Avatar, and Naventic dove onto your guys' Immortal, which was on your side of the map. It was right side. And then there was a Sundering that went through the fight and hit no one. Obviously, the Sundering was mid-fight, and that was kind of why you guys lost that fight to begin with. But why fight without Avatar? Isn't that kind of critical for Calf? Can't you just back up and play a little bit more safely at that moment?
It's
I don't know. I don't think it's that critical, honestly. You have to play around knowing that it's down or whatever, but Avatar is just 2k extra health or whatever. It doesn't impact the flow of the fight unless they're targeting Muradin, which I don't think they did that fight. Like, if they're going to kill your backline anyway, Avatar doesn't change that anymore. Like, it doesn't influence that at all. So, like, when KT and Illidan are just diving your backline, having Avatar or not having Avatar does not influence the fight. So, I mean, I don't think it's wrong to take a fight on your own Immortal in that situation.
from my perspective as a viewer, it seemed like C9 was stuck between a rock and a hard place with that draft. That was the first pick Muradin and then KT Leeming right off the bat, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so like they had KT Leeming Illidan, so that means they've got really good poke, and if C9 commits and tries to disengage because of the Illidan, they're not going to be able to. Like, mad props to Zuna that game. I don't even think he missed one gravity last. He probably did,
Oh, that was.
but
sick.
like it was insane. Like the way the Naventic played the comp was literally, we just sit back, poke their Immortal, force them to try and engage, and then as they start to disengage, pick a target and kill that target. It was a tough composition to play.
Or falling sword on Dunk Train. As the game progressed, I just jumped on the Dunk Train.
I had such a bad time that game, dude. It was so trash. I hate playing Mouth, man.
I would jump on you and you'd root, and I'd be like, not sure this is how this works. Like, I'm just gonna passive now.
Yeah. And I feel like that draft is like really bad. Like, honestly,
You greeted, and we punished you guys. You got greedy. I don't know. The double mage was kind of insane on our part too.
Yeah. In our experience, double mage hasn't been that good.
It's not that good.
And
Yeah.
then like when you like feel like us getting behind, having low damage, and you having Illidan covered made like the perfect situation for double mage. I think.
Yeah. Illidan was so. He just had so many threats. Like Li Ming just basically had free ground the whole game. Like Li Ming, literally, I don't think you guys touched her, and that's never a good thing to say.
Yeah.
And then KT, I mean, he had space. Muradin would try to go, and then Li Ming KT would kill Muradin. Meanwhile, me and Fan are diving you or Zagara. You know, like we would just split you guys so well every fight. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that we played the comp well, and then like you said, once we got ahead, that's hard.
Yeah.
Really hard to do.
Yeah.
So that was game 4. It was pretty good game. I was pretty confident with our team. It was funny, like the level 10, I snap leveled my ult because I wanted to fight and took falling sword, and I was like, this might be okay. And then Fan was like, no, it's good. I can meta. We can do this. And I was like, hell yeah, like
Nice.
we can
It's
do
not
this.
bad, though.
It's not bad. Yeah, no.
It
It's
deals
really not bad.
damage, and it's like good engage. So like.
I could jump right over Murd and Thrall every fight. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Dunk, let's talk about this game a little bit more from the perspective of a support player. Tassadar was banned by you guys. and Tyrande, Uther by them. They had Rhaegar, which kind of puts you guys in this weird spot where it's like your options are pretty much Malfurion and then Lily and then Medic in theory, right? But Medic is kind of unplayable in the current meta.
Medic is absolutely unplayable.
Yeah. So Lily, not great either. You're put with Malf. Do you think, I mean, it's been, 8-9 months since we've had a support added to the game? You think that's kind of makes situations like this like almost unwinnable for you? Because you hate Malf. You say it all the time. It's not that he's the worst pick in the world, but it didn't look great.
Okay, so people are in chat asking why not Monk. And in my experience, Monk is not that good against double mage. Like, you can't ever... Okay, I'm playing against Li Ming, KT, so I can't ever hit anyone they're near, or I will die, basically. Like, they just do way too much damage to Monk, in my experience. When, like, both are on the team, it's not playable. And then I didn't even really have good targets to play Monk with. So I don't think Monk is really good there. And then...
What about Brightwing?
I don't know.
Lone
I
support
don't think
Brightwing,
anyone.
too weak.
I don't
Both of
think
those
anyone thinks that Brightwing solo
Look at
support
game
is
5.
worthwhile.
Game 5.
Yeah.
Both
Or
of those
Brightwing.
supports, like, against double mage, for them to heal, they have to be on top of the target they're healing, and that
Yeah.
means you're going to be spreading chain bomb. You're going to be hitting.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting hit by arcane orb, and it's just like you're taking so much poke. The only difference Brightwing would have made is you would have been able to phase shield and then walk away, and like you would have that initial shield. But then it's like I don't like Brightwing in a solo support situation.
Yeah, I don't
But-
either.
Like
I mean,
I don't
just
know.
denying your opponent's Uther or Rhaegar when Tass and Tron out of the game is like huge. It's not. Like, I don't think the other supports are as good.
You had to secure support in the second rotation, like,
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
you'll
we
be
didn't.
completely fine.
Yeah, but nobody in draft was ever denying supports, and like to the extent that we were in that specific draft, so we just didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Really? But you played, like, I watched the games. You played Malfurion at least 2 times. Am I right?
Well, Malf in the Rexar comps is fine.
Oh,
You
okay.
just
Like,
had to know
in-
the
still,
it's
you-
another
yeah.
follow up. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just
but
another easy follow
Yeah,
up.
I know, but like, I don't know. I think, I mean, of course, it's the lack of support is so obvious, but yeah, like, for now, if you know, well, yeah, you, like you said, you didn't expect the support bans, but
Yeah,
Maybe spoiler, Lily will be good next patch because Clem's at 7. I don't know.
no, probably not.
We'll see.
Mm,
I don't
hard to
think so,
say.
dude.
It
I don't
could
think
make
so,
a
dude.
It could,
difference.
it could make a difference. Like, her
it will.
jug skills a lot. Like,
I think it will make a difference.
I do too.
You
Like-
can't use actives while you're in jugs, right? Like you
Correct.
can't activate jugs.
You
and
wouldn't be able
use-
It's not-
I don't
it's
know.
not
I don't
right.
know. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, you can't shrink right while you're jugging, yeah.
What do you do versus Tacit or Lily? I think it will be the most annoying thing
Well,
to play
you're not.
versus.
The problem is, anytime someone says, "What do you do against Tassadar and X or Tyrande and Y?" You're
Okay,
not
true.
saying the other thing is broken. You're saying Tass and Tyrande are broken because they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
Like,
okay,
that's
true,
not.
true.
That's not the same thing.
True. I'm just thinking that Tacit or Lily will be the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Lily does
yeah.
okay damage. Like her damage is pretty good. She just doesn't have consistent CC, and like currently she's bad against high burst. But if she gets cleansed, then suddenly she might be a little bit better against like Murden, Tron, EGC Tron.
The
things
stun,
like
the
that.
stun comps, yeah, exactly.
I don't even think you go jugs. Like in this meta, usually enemies have like Zeratul or like a melee assassin. Like, and there you see a lot of Illidan's. I don't think you ever go jugs with Lily, especially if you have a second support,
Well,
like a Tacit. But yeah, if she's a solo support, then you have to go jugs, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
I'm just all the time thinking about her as something paired
I
with,
think
the,
she
with
is.
the round.
I think she is playable as second support. Like, it's very, very close, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is playable as second support now. But again, most of the time, your second support is good because the other support you pick is broken, and you just need another hero that helps like reduce the downside of having Tass or Tron.
I'm curious if Medivh will make that more dynamic because obviously he's not labeled as a support, but he does have a lot of support functionality as a hero. We'll talk about him a bit more later in the show. Let's move on to the final game of the grand finals. And I mean, Mac, at the draft, what were you thinking?
I think once the Cloud9 locked in Sylvanas and they went triple range, we kind of figured we had won the game. We're really confident. We kind of took a risk. We didn't really take a risk, actually. We like, a fan said that if we gave him Illidan, then he'd win the game. And we all kind of were like, yeah, I think we can believe Fan. Like, he's pretty reliable when it comes to stuff like this. So we first picked him Illidan. We figured they wouldn't ban Task because it was a good like move for them to skew the draft. Like, obviously we're gonna ban Tyrande, and like I even called that Li Ming ban would happen and the Task would stay up for them to say like, oh yeah, you can take your Task now, and we opted to not go Task and give it to them. And in doing so, we just got all the power picks. And then, like I said, they went to Sylvanas with triple range, and they had no melee. And it was kind of, the Hawkeye, I don't know. I think game 5 was just ours. From the draft point of view and from just a momentum point of view. After game 4, our team was feeling really, really good. So, I don't know. That's my overall feeling about game 5.
Dunk, what was your... BKB, go ahead.
No, let Dunk say. What do you wanted to ask him?
I was just going to say, like, what was your perspective going into the final game of the series?
I don't know. I mean, going into the game before the draft started, like, I would say we were feeling fine. Like, you know, it would have been nice to win the last game, but we felt like after drafting the last game, let alone playing it, it wasn't really winnable. So we kind of chalked it off to, oh, well, mistakes were made, and went into game 5. But I don't think the beginning of the draft is that bad. Like, I don't think the start where they get Illidan and you get KT Task, like, I don't think that's inherently bad. I think the failure came in later picks when we didn't adjust properly. And, like, I honestly do think there's a lot of drafts you can go into from that point that could have won the game. But what we played is, A, not our strengths, and B, just wasn't quite good enough. And, like, I don't know. Shit happens.
Right now, I'm not a huge fan of triple range with the Tassadar. Especially.
I mean,
if you
we're
can
not
secure,
either. I don't think anyone thinks you actually that on purpose. Like,
it's like game 1 against PG in the beginning of the tournament. We went triple range with Task, and like, it's just not enough, you know. So that's why, like I said, when the Sylph pick happened, it was kind of like, it's gonna be really hard for us not to win this game, especially when we already had the Illidan and Murden locked up. It was
maybe the way to salvage the draft. Like you like, I'm sure you already know this. I'm just saying it for conversation's sake, but like, you have KT, who's pretty much one of the best quote unquote hyper carries you can have in Heroes right now. Just sort of build a comp around him. You can get like a second melee, whether it's a tank or an actual melee assassin. I don't remember if Sonya was left up in the draft. Things like that. Like, if you secure double frontline with Tassadar and KT, I feel like the Illidan's going to have a lot of trouble penetrating your backline and actually doing damage. But with triple range, if your Illidan player is good and, like, obviously fans good, like, you're not going to feel that pressured by triple range because they don't ever force your positioning as if when they had, like, 2 melees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask McIntyre the Warrior switch in mid-series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some people want to know, like, what was the conversation? Like, what happened? Why did you have to swap roles and Zuna goes to carries and stuff?
It was mostly just like players. So our team is really flexible in general. So like players just felt really confident on certain picks. And like it doesn't hurt me to switch to a role, like, because I'm very confident on a lot of different roles as well. So it was like, you know, when Zuna was like, "Hey, let me play KT," I'm feeling it. You know, like why not? You know, like I have nothing to lose. You know, like I trust Zuna, right? Like even game 5, like we got Falstad, and like trust me, I played a lot of Falstad. People knew me for Falstad for a couple of months. And Zuna looked at me and was like, "Dog, let me have it." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Trust me." He's like, "I'm not letting Cloud9 win today," or something. Like something like that, you know, some Zuna-esque. And
that's a Zuna.
And I was like,
he did it.
Yeah, I was like, take it, you know, like. And at the same time, like it was a fun experience for me. Like I got to play 8 different characters in the tournament. Like I was bouncing all around. So it was good. It's good learning experience.
Yeah, so what Tazza said to me before the tournament even started, he's like, we have a team of 4 flex and then a healer, and he's like, you're gonna see that this weekend, and we did, so that was cool.
That is.
I mean, that was proven. Yeah, like Zuna, he swapped to Falstad and KT, and it wasn't like the role swap. He just played like an average Falstad or an average KT. Like he knew when he wanted the role swap that he would step up on that hero at the specific time. And I'm like, you must have so much confidence in yourself and your team to just be able to and say something like that, and your team's fully on board. And like game 4. You just saw Neventic play around his Kael'thas really, really well and things like that. It takes a lot of team synergy and confidence to be able to do that, and that's what I respect about Neventic.
Also trust, like confidence and everything, but like McIntyre said, like trusting each other and like doing something like that in mid-series is just shows how strong of a team Neventic is, like, as a team itself. So,
even Fan game 5 just saying, like you said, McIntyre, give me Illidan and we'll win. Like that level of trust, you put that trust on Zuno when he said give me KT, you put that trust on Fan when he said give me Illidan. Like that's pretty cool to have in a team.
Yeah, I believe those guys. It's just like if I were to ever get a Kerrigan, the day that it happens, because I'm sure I never will, the day that happens, they can trust me. They can trust me to get us the win. So
believe.
Yeah. Well, congrats to Neventic on taking the win, qualifying for Sweden. But for me, the MVP was still Misha. Misha, just the MVP, man.
Or Toronto, but yeah, Misha did a good job too.
Misha's a pretty good hero. It just sucks that you have to like have some dork radio remote controlling her to play her,
Just give me a bear.
Please,
yeah.
Give us bears.
Just a bear hero.
What surprised me about the event, something that I didn't think about until like just now, correct me if I'm wrong, but there were only 3 teams that ended up picking Zera. It was Neventic, C9, and COG, right? No other team picked Zeratul. I think Zera is really good, but it didn't seem like he was that highly prioritized.
Did Goku
you
play
have to
Zera
fit
at
him
all?
into a comp. No. Ever since the team picked up Erho and Tomster, I think Goku's been on ranged and Tomster's been on melee, at least the past couple events. So if they did pick Zera, it would have been Tomster on it, but I don't think they played it.
Huh.
Yeah, I think Glau's correct on that. Now that swap's happened.
You played Zeratul, right?
GFE picked Zera one time. It was Gathering Power, I remember.
Oh, yeah, they played that against us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glau?
What's that?
Glau, did you play Zeratul? You did,
One
right?
game.
One game.
Yeah. We played it against AA, Astral Authority.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you won, right?
They showed up.
Yeah.
We played it 2 games. We played it one against C9 and once against PG. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we leave Dreamhack Austin, just a big shout out to Gale Force and, of course, Astral Authority. Both those teams showed up. I was really impressed with their performances at the event. And I think NA, is on the right track for sure. A lot of teams showing a lot of promise. And we only have a few weeks until we're going to the next regional, which will be at ESL in California. But moving forward, let's start talking about some of that Illuminati discussion. We have the Medivh and Chromie heroes being revealed, and then we also have the full new ranking system, with the full details on that. And let's just start with Chromie, our wonderful little, I guess she's a gnome. Have you guys played the PTR yet?
Yes. I waited 2,500 seconds in queue to play Chromie. Thank you very much. And it was worth.
So I played it a little.
Tonight I'll be streaming on it, but I haven't played on it yet.
You haven't played on it at all yet?
No. Just because I'm not gonna play Chromie, and I was still pushing for rank 1 a little bit. So I don't know, PTR. I'm excited about some of the PTR changes though. Like Regen Master, people are saying that's a huge nerf, but I think it's actually gonna be really good on a few heroes.
Yeah, like Chin.
Yeah, or imagine a Zeratul with 500 at more HP. That's way better than the increased regen, in my opinion.
Yeah, people forget about Zeratul Regen Master.
Mhm.
Anubarak.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Chromie
Is he
does.
strong? Is Anoop strong?
He's okay.
Repeat it.
He's
Okay.
yeah. He's like
He hits harder.
he's bruiser now. Like
Yeah.
that's like what the PTR is to me, is like bruisers are coming
Ar-
back.
Arthas and Anub are both
Noob.
bruisers now.
Oh,
Is
Arthas is better than a noob, but
okay.
Yeah.
I've seen Arthas, but I
Yeah, he's
didn't
kind of
see
insane.
anything out of Anoop. But like, it's just if Anoop is actually gonna be good, like if his like damage and survivability is better, then I think he'll be really strong. Because I think Cocoon is so underrated. Like if they don't have a Tassadar or something else that burns the Cocoon really fast, I don't know. Like I think it's a really strong gold.
it'll
But
be
regarding
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
But no problem. Regarding Chromie, just so I don't change the subject. Regarding Chromie, I think she will be similar. From what I saw, she'll be similar to Li Ming. That the damage is not reliable. Like like if
I think she's
people,
far worse, right?
yeah, like I'm just saying damage wise and the place she has as an assassin, the damage won't be reliable. I don't know
Yeah.
the number, so I
Well, okay,
can't
so
say. Just
Chromie has some interesting things about her. So your Q does not affect structures, minions, mercenaries, only heroes. So she can pierce through walls. She can really snipe people going to fountain. It has a really long range, and there's a 25% bonus on that. There's also a pierce for that too, but it is a 1 second wind up, so it's pretty easy to predict. It's kind of spell you're going to use over the walls a lot. So Chromie's going to have to be pretty sneaky with all of that.
okay.
W, really long range, good lane clear, long cooldown. I think it's 14 seconds at default, but it chunks and it's a lot of damage. So she's phenomenal for stalling things like altars, tributes, whatever. She's really good in those situations where she can poke from afar safely. She just seems, and if you get hit, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Yeah, it is.
And she has a questing talent that after you hit 25 Qs, you get 100 more damage, which is a lot. And then her E, the cool thing about her E is it's called Time Trap. It's a 2 second stasis. So it's not a stun, it's a root. Or root, it's a stasis. So basically, you put that wherever the heck you want, and it's a ward as well. So you have this little ward that takes 2 seconds to activate, then it becomes invisible, and then the enemy team will wander into it, and then they'll be stasis, but also you have vision in that spot the whole time. So her kit is really different, but I think in some maps and some comps, she is going to be a monster. The other thing is you have to consider that she gets her talents 1 level early. It's in some situations it's going to be pretty nice, like on maybe on Sky Temple, just having level 9 and having the control with the sands, because 9 to 10 is often where the teams are sitting going into the bottom temple. So all the control you get from that heroic at level 9 could be very impactful and allow you to snowball a little bit in the early game.
Yeah, I think Chromie's like a fixed version of Li Ming, if that makes sense. Like Li Ming is the artillery mage, and they made a ton of mistakes with her kit, and like she was super toxic, and like now she's toned down a bit, but like she's still problematic. And I feel like Chromie is everything you wanted out of Li Ming, with like the hard to hit skill shots and like the predicting movement and like really important decision making on like who you target and when you use your spells and stuff. Like it's all of that cool stuff about that kind of character, but without any of the problems that Li Ming had, like destroying buildings and blah 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 blah, resets, etc.
I think she'll be really good with high CC. Like that's my input with Chromie.
Exactly.
If there's a setup, it's like she has like skill shots that do incredibly high damage. Similar to like Tyrande, if you pick her by yourself, you're not going to see many Tyrandas hitting god tier raw stuns 100% of the time. You always see Tyrande picked up with a lead stun, a Kerrigan, an ETC, a Muradin, etc. And I think Chromie will be really good with high CC comps.
You can even compare it to Li Ming as well. Like you rarely see Li Ming picked without any CC, because like at least in Korea, China, like they don't value Li Ming so much, because usually people dodge spells. I even had discussion with Zuna today, and Chromie, yeah, like there need to be heroes that enable her. She can't be. I don't think she'll be the KT type of version where you pick the hero or Falstad, because it can do work. Like it needs something to enable her, like some sort of CC, so you get the spells in or stuff. Because I like, as far as I have, like I said, I can't say a lot because I haven't played her. But from videos I have seen, like I don't think it's hard to dodge the abilities. The windups are quite long, and
yeah, they are. They're really long, dude.
I think it's so easy to dodge.
the 13 talent is the one for me that makes her kind of good when she gets increased range, because then you can really throw stuff at the other team off screen. Like,
Okay.
that's like so I played her twice, and both games at 13 when I got that talent, that's when I started to feel really annoying. Like, it was like, now they can't touch me, because one thing that the problem she has is if she gets caught, she dies. It's not like KT where you can try to tornado or fall second tumble, Li-Ming can blink. No. If Chromie gets caught, she dies. Like, she's very bad at escaping. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's how an artillery mage should be, though.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
Like, you should get, like that's how it should be.
Which is her weakness. That's why she's gonna be not amazing. Like, to me at least, because if you find her, like Zeratul, for example, will eat Chromies alive. Like, and
Tracer.
Tracer. Yeah, but Tracer. Same time, Tracer kind of is problematic because if she gets hit by a Q, like, it'll take like a third of her health away. But like, yes, if she does get onto Chromie, full health, like, Chromie loses 100%.
Yeah, I mean, you can hit spells already. Like, KT is okay because you have to click on the Tracer, But with Chromie versus Tracer or even Zeratul, I don't know. I think, like, Chromie will have quite a big counters. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to... It's too early to say, but yeah.
She'll have a similar place as, like, Xerath in League of Legends. He's always been a far artillery hero who sometimes has a place in the meta, but... comparing these two games isn't perfect, but the same things that counter Xerath is going to be the same things that counter Chromie, in my opinion. Like, they're almost exact same heroes to an extent. Chromie's Q is similar to Xerath Q, W is similar to... And they both have one form of CC that isn't super reliable, which I just found that comparison funny. But I'm excited to see Chromie in actual drafts. Her level 20 talent is one of the most, like, fun in the game.
Which one?
Which one are you talking about?
The level
Q?
20 that spawns the ghost or whatever. There's a Q also.
Yeah.
That's
Past and
so
future me,
cool.
it's so much fun.
It's so awesome.
But maybe with, like, double bruiser meta being a thing that potentially could arise, like, maybe she will be good. Like, Arthas plus Murden with Chromie. Like, how the heck?
Because she does chunk tanks. Like, tanks who have to be on the front line for a while to do work, like, she chunks them, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool.
Yeah, you can run, like, double warrior even with her, like, protect, the old protect KT. You can just run protect the Chromie and have, like, another melee assassin.
I was gonna take Zeratul yourself and take it away.
Zeratul Chromie, you have, like, setup with White Prison already, a decent setup because of her damage. Like, I think, there will be just, I would say, not like heroes, but there will be drafts that enable her.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
But
it'll be interesting to see where she goes.
Yeah.
It's way too early. Way too early.
But I'm so happy that they started like, if you compare the new heroes to the old ones, obviously because they're the old type of heroes, but all these new heroes have such a sick animations and, like, interaction, with the all new ones. So good luck. Just shout out to Blizzard for making cool heroes. Like, it's really nice.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about the level 13 survivability option she has? She has Bye-Bye, which is 75% reduced cooldown on the Hearthstone, and then she basically has a godly ice block that she can lasts for like 7 seconds, and she can turn it off whenever she wants. It's really nice.
I feel like the ice block is actually really bad. Like, she's the kind of hero that doesn't benefit from being in an ice block. Like, you don't get any advantage for sitting in your ice block, so the extra duration is actually irrelevant. It's, like, really bad for her, honestly, to sit there. Like, she's not a mouth with Trank who's getting value while in ice block. Like, if they're diving her and they get on you and you have to pop ice block, like,
you'll still die probably.
You're still gonna die when you come out of ice block.
After the ice block.
You're dead.
So I think the other two options are really good, though.
Yeah, the bye-bye, fly away, whatever. Like, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a time when you would really utilize it, but I'm sure when you
with it. I think you can flip with it, and then, like, you can't really get caught. You're kind of like a pseudo global at that point.
But even then, your push is kind of garbage outside of your
I mean, you wave clear hella fast. If you take the W, AoE, and CDR talent, you just pop wave twice, like, and it dies in 6 seconds or whatever. Like, it's not bad.
Okay. I know that I really like the crit and attack auto range. I think it's like a 4
Oh,
talent.
really?
When you cast a spell, her auto gets 200% damage.
It's 250%, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she crits for like 500 for her autos. Like that's kind of insane. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't try that one out because I haven't gotten to play many games yet, but it looked interesting.
dude, even if you miss your Q, right? That's like
Yeah, even if you miss your Q,
you
Oh,
just
okay.
chunk. So you can actually like her Q doesn't cost like any mana. So you can just spam your Q, go into lane, auto Q auto on someone as like the combo, and then just ruin them. Like it sucks to be on the receiving end of that.
it's like KT16, but on your auto attack. Like
At level
it's really,
4.
yeah, it's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the one talent that I think is pretty good about her. Like her early game poke is gonna be really nice. I'm certain in a certain lane matchup, like it's gonna be not fun to play against. You know.
Yeah.
I wonder how many
freeze?
times. Oh, I think he's having issues.
Yeah, BKB is rip.
I wonder how many times I'm gonna get baited with Vorpal Blade by bye. I'll be like, oh, she's 1 HP Vorpal.
Did you
I
see
mean, there's
that?
already a gif of that on Reddit.
Yeah, dude, it's
Oh,
so funny. Yeah, the Zeratul got brought back to the Hall of Storms and just like got bounced out. He's like, boop.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it's so funny. Because I mean, sometimes it's like instinctual. You jump on a Brightwing and Vorpal to her Z, Fosfet Z, stuff like that. So I guarantee I'm gonna be baited by it at least once.
Yeah.
I think it looks fun though. Like I think that's like the kind of clever like. So ignoring the ice block that I don't think will work on her very well. I think those two choices between range and the bye, like those are interesting choices as to how to make your character safer, right? Like they're both in a way like they make you a safer hero to play, but they're way different in the way they do it. And I like having that dynamic on a talent tier. Like, okay, here's how you get safety, right? Pick one of these 3 safety options, and it's going to change the way you play the hero. Like, I think it's
cool.
really, really cool.
Yeah, I like Blizzard's doing that a lot.
Yeah, they did it with Zool on a lesser scale with his level 1 talent.
Hello?
If you have Shade versus what's it called? Backlash, it's a completely different playstyle. And I think I like those sort of like, they first did it with Monk where he has his damage passive, his healing passive, and then the other one that doesn't exist.
Wait, there's a third one? What?
But yeah, I like those options where you can kind of in WoW, if you're a paladin, you can choose to be a tank, healer, or support. And like I kind of like having that versatility in a hero. It opens up lots of drafts.
Kind of like Uther with Burning Fire, Holy Fire, and Holy Shock.
Holy Shock.
That's really cool. Yeah.
They make a druid now, level 1. You take your spec and just
that would be so cool.
Like Boomkin or whatever. Yeah, that'd be really neat.
Yeah.
I doubt that'll ever happen, but
I want to see any shapeshifting druid though, dude. Like I feel like I would love to see a feral druid, and it would be so cool.
I thought that was what they were gonna do. I still feel like it is, like with some like druid from Diablo 2, like with his
form. Yes,
like,
please.
That'd be so cool. Like the interaction there would be, but they're gonna probably slap it onto an ult or something. We have
Worgen form. We have Worgen form, which is there to an extent, right? But it's not the full flesh like you have a whole nether kit underneath.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. But you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, stances are cool. I agree. BKB, any final thoughts on Chromie before I move away?
Not really. I just don't understand why Skype was complete. Like it was Skype issue.
Hey,
I don't
BKB.
know.
Here's some good news. I talked with the guys who build Discord, the developers at DreamHack Austin, and they're working on a new video call system with Discord. So a few more months.
Okay.
We'll be able to swap over to Discord, and it'll be glorious.
It just doesn't make sense. It's not that I have 2 internets, so like I don't know how is it possible.
You have 2 internets?
Yeah,
that's pretty dope, dude.
In case something like this happens, because when I stream, I usually get some, like I think I get DDoSed, but I got proxy and my Skype went down, so I don't know. So I'm using other internet.
That's incredible.
BKB.
I don't know.
So
it sounds like people hate me or something. I don't know. Or never lucky. But on Chromie, I think
lucky.
I'm never lucky. I'm like I said, I'm super happy for Blizzard to like make these awesome heroes. and I think she'll be. Again, like, she's something new to the game, right? Every hero has some kind of new mechanic. Like Chromie has long range poke, which we don't have, like max range poke. Liming is something similar, but
Sergeant Hammer
Chromie,
Medivh has permanent
Chromie is different
invulnerability.
level. Yeah.
Kirby's like
Dude,
a
Medivh
better
looks
hammer.
so cool.
Wait, I haven't looked at Medivh at all. Is his Z like the bird thing?
All
Yeah,
right.
he's
All right,
just a
Mac.
bird. He can go anywhere.
Let's
Is this okay? So
let's
I
go.
haven't looked at this hero at all. Like, tell me about him. Like, let's hear how stupid this hero
Here's
is.
his kit. His Raven form is his mount. 15% movement speed, untargetable, invincible, can fly over terrain, can literally fly around your core and laugh at you. So if you guys think B walking is the BM, no, the Medivh BM is there. I got to play him at the Illuminati meeting, the summit, whatever you want to call it. It was a lot of fun, but he's kind of insane.
Does he snap, turn into a bird? Like,
No,
is it
it's
like,
actually
it's
a
not a chance.
longer.
Okay, thank
It's
God.
a longer cast time than most mounts because he has a weird animation, so it's like a little bit longer. I don't
interesting.
know if that's actually noted, but it definitely felt longer because I kept interrupting it. But he has.
So it's not like wolf. It's not like feral.
No,
like feral
not at all.
form,
Not
okay.
at all. He has to
Yeah.
twirl his staff around and feel like Michael Jackson, and then he turns into a bird. and flies
Michael
away.
Jackson.
It's great. It's great. Go ahead.
Is he broken like everyone says he is?
Yes. And
Like,
we'll get
yes?
there. We'll get there. So
Okay.
he has everything in the world, right? His Q is like a wave of like energy and cute stuff. I can actually show you guys all this stuff for the stream if you haven't seen it. I made a YouTube video, youtube.com/SolidJakeGD, where you can see
Oh, nice plug.
where you can see all of his abilities and all of his talents. Where I break it
So
all
like
down.
Keeper of Light Q from Dota.
I mean,
No. I mean, it is a shockwave effect, which is what you're thinking of, but it's not a charge up. It's actually, it refreshes when it hits a target, basically. So it's not coddle.
So it's like not heavy damage, but it is a fair bit. We can actually just show. This is like just the general what he can do. He's got the portal. Whole team can go through, pop everything. He can shield them so that they're invincible. Then they can actually go back through that portal, which is pretty insane. But basically, his Q does good lane clear, but like Dunk said, it resets. I think it's 7 seconds at default for the cooldown on it. And when you hit a hero, it reduces the cooldown by 5 seconds. I'm not even going to try to show this video because rip that. But anyways, the W is a 1.5 second shield of invulnerability. You cannot be damaged. So it's on the 5 second cooldown. So it's a Tassadar D shield, essentially. Now, you can still be stunned and rooted. And I think poisons exist under that shield. Like if you were to be hit by Azul's poison, Nova, or by Lunara poisons, they would damage you underneath that. Or once it expired, you'd still have that poison on you. So not underneath it, but like once it expired, you start taking.
That's true of D Shield as well, actually.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me.
Go ahead.
It looks dumb. Like the teleport thing, it looks dumb. Like it will be the best hero to force with in the game. I think. I don't know. There will be just, I don't know. Like him in the game, it will be just too scary. I don't know. Like if he does what you say he does, like of course he doesn't heal, right?
No,
he has no heals.
He has no
No?
heals.
Okay.
I don't think.
He is pure utility. Like he has so much utility.
Pure-
He does nothing
okay.
other than have utility, basically. Like he doesn't really do damage. He
I-
doesn't really.
I think he has a heal where a percentage of damage taken by the shield heals that target. So that the only healing he can do is like through damage absorption and then turns to heal, and it's late game anyways. But he is not a healer at the end of the day. But yeah, there's all kinds of crazy talents around his E, right? Because it's a long cast portal. The portal cannot be interacted with by the enemy team. They can't damage it or anything.
I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. Like, there's no counterplay
There
to
isn't.
the demonic gateway.
What? I can't wait for the first time that a whole team tries to take a portal and literally gets wombo comboed at the exit point. Like,
But okay, then I have a question. Is the TP instant? Like, does it have like
half second channel?
So they see
when you click on the portal, it's a half-second channel.
I believe so.
So
Okay.
So they
okay.
see the
So
teleport.
it's not like Bard. It's not like
Yeah,
Bard.
I thought it was instant, but still, that's pretty
I can't
crazy.
remember exactly, so I don't want to be quoted on that, but I'm pretty sure there's a slight channel to go through it.
Okay. So the enemy team can still react to it. I was just thinking if it's instant, like TP
Well-
opens, you go into TP, and like you can put it like okay. Another question: can you put the TP in Fog of War, or you can only put it where you have vision?
I don't think you can put it in Fog of War, but he can
Okay.
he can get Oracle, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter. So you can, or I don't know, Oracle.
He
like,
goes in bird
you
form. He
get to
pops
support
Oracle
instantly.
Yeah.
You can just I don't know. I think
Can you
that's
body
too
block
retarded.
the hitbox of the like? If you stand on top of the portal, can they still get into the portal?
I think so. I think that's what someone was saying. It works like the Haunted Mines entrances, is what someone was saying. So like if there's someone in between you and the entrance, like you won't be in range to channel on it. Is what?
Okay, so you can body block the.
I don't remember who was there at
That'd be
Dreamhack that
cool.
had been at the thing that said that's how it was, but
Now, but there's all kinds of talents to increase the range of it, make it so that you can place both sides of the portal for mega control. In general, I saw like really good usage of people just using it to get people out of position. So like a super overextended KT, you just throw it to him and KT's just like boop and he's gone. Also to help like an Illidan initiate. So if you have somebody rotating down from bottom lane on Sky Temple and you want to get them in the fight on that mid temple immediately, you can throw that portal way down there to help them get in the fight quickly for like you can also.
what's the cast range like? Because you're making it sound like it's super
ridiculous.
far.
It's really far, and you can talent it to go even further. So it's not like a full lane or anything, but it's still a lot greater cast range than I would have expected.
Do you have any idea of reference points? Like what kind of or
Let me try to think. I don't know. Let me see if I can watch the video and find an example
Okay.
for you. I do have some footage.
Maybe like base Stitch's hook range.
Yeah, definitely around that.
Okay. Yeah, no, that is pretty long, especially if you can use it to bypass impassable, then it's a big
Yeah, you
shortcut.
can. Yeah,
So that could be powerful.
It's insane. It's insane. And obviously, the invulnerability is very good as well for the half support now. But he doesn't do a lot of damage, and that's kind of the trade-off. Is he's not a big damage dealer. He's utility, like you said. But just kind of like running through some of his other talents really quickly. Like he has splash on his shield, so you can give that shield splash and like clump on like 3 people. So you see a big flame strike coming in or whatever, you literally just stop all of the damage. And or hey, Asmodee's a problem. Those globes are ruining your team. Not anymore. You
That's kind of crazy in my opinion.
I
It's
mean,
like
it's
sanctification on a 5-second cooldown.
Yeah. Oh, the other team has Thunder. All right, boys, make sure to clump up. Everyone clump up. Like the opposite, like it's not like let's all spread. Everyone spread out. Watch the Asmode boss. Like no, clump up. Nah. I don't think it'll be that extreme, but it's gonna be really freaking good. Like
and like just alone, think about his bird form. Can't be targeted. Can't stop it. Sure, it's only 15% movement speed, but you can fly around and be a ward. So you can just fly around, waiting for rotations, just controlling the middle of the map, scouting out people. When you get the Oracle talent, you get 25%. Your vision is quite limited when you're a bird, which is weird, right? But I think they did that to try to balance it. And the talent gives you additional radius, default, I think 25% more. And then Oracle, which is like straight up full on Tacit Oracle, where you see everything. But he's like, especially at the pro level, this hero is going to be permaban, I think.
Interesting.
Well, buckle up, boys.
It's like he will probably enable too many heroes and too many combo wombos, and I don't know. It sounds pretty retarded. But then again, if he doesn't have damage and a heal, you need to make sure that you use the utility correctly. If you don't, then it's kind of waste of a hero, I guess, if he doesn't do damage and heal. So the team has to be really good with it and synergize.
This isn't the best sample pool in terms of like talent, but like I played a game with a Tassadar and an Illidan where I was Medivh, and it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like we were never taking damage. We were just invincible, and we just perma shields everywhere.
To reference earlier in the show, Tassadar plus a hero.
I was gonna say, so you're telling me Tassadar is strong?
Yeah, so you're telling me that Tassadar is hard to beat with another person who makes Illidan hard to kill? I didn't know that. Thank you.
I was gonna say, how does Medivh stand up to task. You know, that's that's all my head is thinking about right now. Like, obviously he's got this cute D shield, and like I'm not sitting here saying that that's not stupid, because it is, but like Khazadar has a cute D shield and it's a 1,000 health shield and a 5-second cooldown. So, you know, although it's not CC immunity, like
no, his isn't. Medivh's is not CC immunity.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, it's not CC immunity.
So it's essentially the same thing, right?
He basically has Task Shield, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how much. So, you know, if we're in like a pub and I'm a KT and I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going Pyro Blast, I'm a one-shot, you know, and I sling it, and Medivh shields, like, that's stupid. But, like, at the same time, Task does, I don't know. That's, in my head, that's all I'm thinking about. Like, Task and Medivh seem very similar to me. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how well people utilize the tunnels. That's going to be the most unique mechanic.
Oh, yeah, that's
right?
what it's all about.
Yeah.
No, BKB.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can still be CC'd under his
the shield.
The shield, right?
Roots,
so
everything. Yeah.
What's the interaction if you try and shield the Stitch's hook? The hook probably still pulls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool, because I thought it was going to be really stupid if you could just like W the target when you see a hook coming out, and you could just like stand there.
At the very first moment when you said it, I was like, okay, well, ETC Mosh Pit just got insane, but like if you can still CC, then it's actually really not that much stronger. I mean, the difference too between the two heroes for me is like Task doesn't die, and then Medivh sounds like he can die. Unless you use the portals correctly. So it's
yeah, but don't forget. But still, like Medivh has some extra utility, you know.
He has polymorph, right?
So
I don't think
that's
we've
one of his
talked about
ultimate.
polymorph.
No.
Okay, I don't think we've talked about that. What are his ults? 'Cause we haven't talked about this.
We'll get to his ults.
He has. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Okay.
BKB.
Okay, he has the same vision, right? He has let's say similar shield to Tassadar, and he gets a TP. That's his main kit, right?
Right.
And does he have wave clear? No, he doesn't, right?
His Q is wave clear. Yeah, totally.
Kind of.
Kind of. You kind of like.
Well, you have to hit a hero for it to
the
be
enemy
wave
team
clear,
has to misplay and let you hit the wave while hitting a hero.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's subpar.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gets a reset on the Q if he hits a hero. Basically.
Okay.
But it is decent wave clear though. He's not bad. But before we go to heroics, I wanted to talk about basically his teleport a little bit more, and then some of the implications it could have in drafting and like new hero that would pair nicely with it. In BKB, you're a warrior player. Obviously, warriors going through the portal as an engage is nice, but we're going into this new meta very soon where I think we're going to see a lot more bruisers, right? Anubarak and Arthas have really risen up, and I mean, just with their changes and Medivh in the meta, like how prominent do you think that'll be?
Wait, can you repeat at the start?
So basically, the teleporter he has, the mage portal, like doesn't this
with the bruisers?
Right. So you put say you put Diablo through that portal and then he shadow charges them into the wrong direction. Like that sounds like a scary engage onto like anyone you want, like coming over a wall. You have vision and someone's halfway through lane. Guess what? Diablo's behind you now. Like GG.
That's what like something I can say, but like I'm not sure which heroes are the best that he will enable with with the TP. But I don't know. Like I think even with Medivh you might see, like if you can always force so easily, you might see actually some games with only bruisers and not warriors. It's hard for me to tell. I haven't played it. You have played the hero. It's probably more clear for you how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think he can definitely enable heroes that are not so like that are not currently in meta, or it might also change the draft in a sense that there might be like no warriors, but you go full ham with follow up for the TP. Because if I saw it how it looks, and it looks quite easy to force the fight, to go in. So you might not even need a warrior, because that ability is not even a heroic one, so it's quite dumb.
I can't wait till someone does it as Stitches. You just literally either hook a target and gorge, and then Medivh through the portal to like create even more space. But you can literally, I don't know if this is possible. If you can like throw the portal into the enemy team's fort, walk in through the portal, gorge, reactivate the portal, and take them back outside of the fort. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to do that, but if you can, that would be so badass to watch.
That would be sick. That would be
There
absolutely
wouldn't
That would
be-
be sick, yeah.
There won't be a lot of counters to it, I guess, like Divine Shield and I don't know.
Yeah.
I was
I mean,
thinking
maybe
like
just
sending
like done the stitches or whatever too.
basically any displacement, like sending Chin through and then having him Q and then barrel, like like any displacement skill with that could be really annoying to play against. Honestly, I don't know. There's too much. There's too much. It's so hard to discuss because he's gonna
I
open up a
feel like-
lot of doors.
I feel like whether you use portal is going to decide whether that hero is good though. Like,
Yeah,
so I
I agree.
actually like that he's a hero that doesn't get his strength from spamming his buttons on cooldown. He's a hero that gets really, really high value from decision making, reaction time.
Exactly.
Like really, really. I mean, it's hard to stress how important this is. I think because these are the kind of heroes that I think we're lacking in heroes. Is like instead of having heroes who just do consistent damage by casting their abilities every time they're on cooldown, like having someone who's like decision making will decide a game is way better for the competitive scene.
And
I agree.
Even
It's like-
even if you feel like it's problematic or whatever right now, like I think that's the correct direction to go with their heroes.
so the Mage Portal, like you said, it's like a
Completely.
24-second cooldown. Like it's not something that you just spam
Okay.
out. It's a very you have to commit, and if you don't get value, like that's a big window that you missed.
All right, so Taz is better. Cool.
I just barely tested.
Okay, I didn't know the cooldown
Yeah, yeah.
either, so
Force wall is better. Confirmed.
I just barely tested the Medivh portal, and it ported me from my seat outside my room and back. There's like no delay, maybe like half a second.
Such a nerd.
But it's on now it's on a 24-second cooldown though, Klaus. So
Oh damn!
yeah, you got a little while before that hero becomes cool again. Only
Only
24 seconds.
24
to go.
Okay, well let's talk about Chain Poly, which is his first heroic. 40-second cooldown that where you poly a target, and if it triggers on another hero, it will basically trigger indefinitely. So this is basically gives him crazy disengage, control. Pretty strong heroic in general because I mean 40-second cooldown is not bad by any means. What do you guys think about Chain Poly?
how many times does it jump?
Indefinitely until you spread. So it'll keep
Really?
doing it. It'll do it forever unless you
Now- now-
Chain bomb poly, pretty much, right?
Okay, now we need a hero that taunts
Groups.
enemies. Groups.
Oh, like grab a bomb.
Like-
that's
yeah.
the guy. The guy that-
Okay,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, okay. You don't even have to put your C4s anymore. Is that what you're saying, BKB?
Yes. yes.
Just hit the R button. Okay, I respect that.
I think if
It's gonna be so cancer for support players. Like you're stuck on a Brightwing or a Monk, and then Medivh throws a polymorph on you, and you're like, I have to go in to save my teammate. But if I
Right.
do, I'll polymorph them. It's like it's gonna suck for those heroes. But I actually personally think his other ultimate will be better. But I'm excited to see what plays happen with the polymorph. It's a cool mechanic for sure.
It is cool, but I think Chain Bomb doesn't go off that often in competitive, and when it does, it's overkill because stacking is so detrimental in this game anyway. So I think it's going to be the same thing here, where like, yeah, you're going to see a Chain Poly highlight where it's redonkulous, but if they're all stacked that close together, they were probably losing the team fight anyway. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
well, his
Yeah,
other
if I get a 3-man Kerrigan combo and the poly goes off, they're probably already dead, and the poly
Yeah.
is relevant.
Yeah. It's 7
Someone-
KT, right? You barely see in competitive chain like spreading the bomb, so
Yeah.
It's
Someone
the
in chat
same.
actually said something interesting. If you are Medivh and you're playing against a warrior with Relentless, throw the polymorph on him and it'll activate to his
Yeah.
teammates
Yeah,
half as
more
fast.
quickly.
Like there's some cool interactions like that.
That
that's
is
then-
really cool, yeah.
But then it's on a 30-second cooldown. What's the cooldown?
An ability
yeah.
like that,
It's
I'd
40
say
seconds,
40.
I think. I think it's 40
40.
seconds.
I'd say 40 would make the most sense.
Does it do damage or is it literally just poly? Do you know, Jake?
The poly does do a small bit of damage. If I remember, I can actually read the tooltip for you in 1 sec.
What's that? Check later. What's the 20 upgrades as well, please?
Yeah. So this is the heroic while I have it here. This is called Leyline Seal. Basically, it's a linear void prison. When you shoot it, basically it's a huge line that travels pretty quick and will VP everyone for 3 seconds. Now the crazy thing is there's a level 20 upgrade that allows you to cast it again, but from where it's traveling. So if it goes past all the way, you can actually shoot it directly back the same way it came. And there are some instances where you can hit the same target twice, but it's almost never going to happen. But it is really cool. So if the team jukes, you want to shoot it back up north, it's there. The poly version makes it so that it triggers more quickly at level 20. For the reset happens much more quickly, and I believe it has like more slow on it. One of the other level 20 talents I remember is basically a mage bloodlust. He basically the size around tranquility around him. He gives everyone in his party in a circle just quickly. He like flashes them with mana, and he gives them 10% AP for 10 seconds. So it's a level 20 talent. I believe it's a 1 minute cooldown. And then I believe his last level 20 ability is invisibility. I think that was a 50-second cooldown, which you make a single target invisible for 20 seconds until they enter combat, take damage or whatever.
I think it was a 10-second cooldown from the right up I read.
10-second cooldown for a 20-second?
I think I remember that it was like you could technically have it up on 2 people at a time, something like
Kind of
that.
spicy.
Huh?
That is kind of spicy, actually.
Maybe
But
I
it breaks if they do anything. It breaks if they do anything. So like
Still.
it doesn't seem that good.
It's just you're turning ETCs into Zeratools. I mean, I think that's kind of good. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's kind of like the old Shadow Stock thing.
Wow.
Where, like,
Yeah.
it has value. It will have value with specific heroes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems really cool. I was just thinking about it too. Someone in chat asked if, Medivh would enable Cho'Gall in some ways, and I think they could be a sick combo. Like people often pick Karazim to counter Cho'Gall. Suddenly 7-sided strike on a 5-second cooldown. You can put that 1.5 second damage immune. That's
Yeah.
there are actually a lot of situations, not just 7-sided strike, where Medivh can prevent a lot of single target burst. Like Medivh's going to be great versus Tyrande. Medivh's going to be great versus Karazim if he goes 7-sided strike. Like, rude. Like, a lot of people. I just wasn't really reading into how OP his W is going to be, but like it makes me excited. I think the hero is pretty bonkers. I don't know if it's healthy for the game or not, and we'll have to see his numbers before I can actually 100% say he's bonkers. But his kit looks really strong, and I'm pretty excited.
You can even if you mention Cho'Gall, you can even go twisting Nether, pop the ult, and when it's about to go down, pop
Teleport
it,
into the enemy team.
Yeah, teleport enemy team for
Yeah.
40% slow, massive damage, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be really sick.
It's something.
Give
Yeah,
him the
it's
ability
something
power
similar.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Like give him the
easy
ability
Katka.
power before he goes through. Boom. Yeah.
Easy
Synergy,
Katka,
boy.
yes.
Synergy.
Something like with the Butcher as well, the second ultimate, what we saw in the clip as well, you can pop it, and when it's about to, when it's gonna go, when it's gonna trigger, what's the name of the Butcher ultimate? The second one?
Furnace Blast.
Or are you talking about
Yeah.
Furnace Blast?
Yeah. It could also be something, and it actually deals a lot of damage, and you can actually TP next to the support instantly, then he's kind of rip. Like, depends what support, but like Rehgar, I don't know, Tyrande, like those heroes are dead, Even like KT, maybe you can burst KT fast enough so that Rehgar can't even Ancestral, I don't know.
Something awful that I'm really excited to try. I know it's just gonna be terrible, but really funny. Medivh throws down his demonic gateway. You're Chen. You activate barrel, go into the portal, and it's just like a teleporting barrel on the other side of the base.
I hope that can be a thing, dude. I really hope that can be a thing.
That would be so fun.
Does the bird work like Warcraft 3 vision, where like if you stand in between trees, they can't even see you there? Do you know that, Jake?
I'm actually not sure. I didn't test that.
Oh, that would be interesting. Is if they can't see you if you're standing on impassable. That would be really interesting.
That would be really cool.
Because then you could on Cursed Hollow, for example, fly on the hard camps and have vision of the boss and the hard camp, and then like a team fight happens and you appear like behind.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty OP. I mean, I don't know if that's.
Do you
far into it?
Do you think the invisibility? Someone asked, like, do you think invisibility would make you unable to see Furnace Blast?
I would guess
Okay.
that yes. I would guess yes.
Yes.
Based on the way that those kind of things typically interact with like brush and stuff. Like my guess is if Pusher pops Furnace Blast, so it's like winding up and he gets the Invis cast on him, I would not be surprised if it blocks the actual particle effect, which would be insane.
That would be.
You can actually do that right now with Shadow Stock.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, you can? You know it works?
I'm almost positive I've done it, but like 98% I'd say.
Yeah.
Butcher activates Charge and Furnace Blast and then you Shadow Stock.
Yeah.
From a bush, it's just invisible. Tons of
That
damage.
is so cool.
Tons of damage.
Well,
Tons of damage.
Massive damage.
so
and then you use Medivh's ultimate and get another 10%. Tons of damage.
all right. Well, we gotta propel forward because we're pretty late into the show, so we need to.
Yeah, we can talk.
Yeah. So basically, these are the ranked rewards while we're looking at this. If you played in Hero League, you get those, and then if you hit rank 5, I think you get the epic one. I don't think you have to hit rank 1, but there are different avatars for everyone that hits rank 1 and throughout. I don't know what the hell Billy is. I think that's probably supposed to go with the Chromie skin, but that's a thing. So let's move on to talk about ranked play, the new system that was just basically announced and revealed to us. It was kind of the I don't know, probably the highlight of the entire thing that we went to, the whole Illuminati event. And essentially, the ladder is becoming a full-on league structure, very similar to StarCraft 2 and League of Legends. Bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, and grandmaster, where there will be tiers within. The notable changes to take away from this is that now when you're playing Hero League, you can only queue up with if you're gold, you can queue up with golds, silvers, and platinums. You can never play against a bronze. You can never play against a diamond or a master, which means you can't bring your friends into those games. I think we can all agree this is a very good change.
Yeah.
That's what we've been waiting for, like, from the start.
I'm so excited. Like,
I mean,
the current ladder system is so unsatisfying with the way it is. Even if you're like a pro player, you have to wait until like 11 days into the next month before you knew what rank you were the last month and stuff. Like, I just can't wait till it's automatically live updated. And right now, there's not a huge incentive to play Hero League, but a lot of people do it. And I think a lot more people will be incentivized to play it once there's an actual ladder system.
So then we have the pros, which is basically master and grandmaster. Grandmaster is literally top 1 through 500. So we actually have a top 500. Glad you're shaking your head.
500 is way too big of a number. It takes away the prestige.
I
in my
agree.
opinion.
exactly.
I agree.
Dude, why not do the leaderboard 200? Like, I don't get that.
No, I would even go for like 150.
Well, even StarCraft
think
2
about
was
it.
200.
Okay, I don't know. I don't like the 2 number in there, but sure. I don't know.
Think about it from the average player perspective. I think anyone who works hard enough at the game can make it into the top 500 at least once in their life. So it's like in StarCraft 2, people have tried for years and years and can't break into GM. But when they do break into GM, that's something that solidifies their love for the game. That's how it worked for me. Once I hit GM in StarCraft, I was like, okay, I love this game. I'm going to keep playing it hardcore. And I wonder if the reason why Blizzard's putting the numbers so high is that more people will get to experience that level of prestige. And you pretty much, you become really passionate and dedicate a lot of your life to the game once you reach a certain rank. It's the same thing once you get Challenger in League, once you get Grandmaster in StarCraft. It's something that you want to work towards. And I wonder if that's part of their reason. But it sucks as a pro, and it sucks as an amateur who's pushing into the pro scene, because suddenly being Grandmaster has little to no prestige. Like being top 500, that's 3.6k MMR on Hot Slogs. Hot Slogs isn't a perfect system, but that's ridiculously low MMR.
I mean, it's already valueless to be in the 180 to 200 range or whatever, like to say you're on the leaderboard. Like, nobody cares who's on the leaderboard past 100 even, probably, I would say. So making it 500, like, I just don't think there's very much value there.
and like, okay, first of all, I think there was an interview. I think Calder had it, and he was talking about the matchmaking and the league itself. I think they're testing still the numbers, so we might see some change in future. But like from this as well, like even let's talk about pro scene, right? Like if you have like 500, like you can't. I guess actually it shows what rank you are, right? Like if you're a grandmaster, does it show which place you are?
Yeah, it'll show a number.
Yeah.
I think it shows a number that represents you.
Like Hearthstone, right?
Yeah. That's what I
Okay.
think. I'm assuming. Jake, can you confirm?
Yeah.
Does it show like Hearthstone, like when you hit Legend?
When you're queuing up?
GM.
Right.
When you're GM, is it gonna say Is it gonna have the little logo and then show your number within the placements?
I don't remember whether or not they specified that, but I would imagine so.
In StarCraft, the GM logo started out really basic, and then once you were top 100, they added a little like bottom part to the graphic, and as you got higher and higher ranked, the GM logo looked better and better. Like top 16 in StarCraft 2 Grandmaster had like a little star on it and stuff like that. No, but
it's your GM is gonna have a 1 on it. Like it's gonna be.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No.
That's exciting.
So when you're GM 1, it will be a GM 1 logo. If you're GM number 499, you know you're bottom of the barrel, and that's represented in the game.
Hearthstone.
Even Master League has a score rating, so you can be like, well, I'm a 3,500 Master League player. That's something you can say, and that's something that's there, and it's something that you're gonna be proud of. And it's like, yeah, I'm almost GM because you know you're top of the Master League, and it gives everyone those short-term goals, which is very, very intuitive and prideful. If you can say you're number 1 GM and you queue into the game, I'm pretty darn sure that it shows that in the loading screen. People can be like, oh shit.
But
it's McIntyre.
It doesn't. It doesn't change the fact that if you had the Master League and Grandmaster, if you make like top 15 Grandmaster, like sure, you can make that you can queue up with the Master League as well, but having the top 15 Grandmaster would make the players go crazy. Like you would be so competitive. I just feel like when people get in Grandmaster League, most of the people won't try to be like number 1 in it, they'll have this goal which they set, I want to be in Grandmaster, and they'll be in Grandmaster League. But if you set like top 50, for example, for Grandmaster League, then I think like the scene will just be a lot healthier. More people will strike hard so much in Hero League, and the games will have, the games will have more value. It will be productive games and stuff like that.
I think Team League will be more tryhard too, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's the same deal there.
It'll be the same. Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be the same playing field, but go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is I think 50 is too small. I think 500 is too big. I personally like the 200 from StarCraft, but maybe that's just because that's what I'm used to. But that's what it is. But anyways, we need to keep propelling forward because we're almost 2 hours in. So season rewards, we have basically if you hit GM, you're going to get GM rewards even if you fall out. That's a nice little small thing they did. So it's like that you hit that rank, you earned that rank. Even if you didn't finish with that rank, you're going to get the rewards for that, which is cool. That right now we have those elemental wolves coming in and the avatars, but future seasons could have more of that. They didn't specify what future seasons would give us exactly, but I think we should expect something around, at least the avatars. I would hope the mounts as well. Let's quickly move over and talk about. Actually, just overall, is everyone satisfied with this? Like, do you guys feel like this is good enough? Is it ideal? Is it the best thing in the world? Like, where you guys stand?
I'd feel bad about complaining about the number 500 because, I feel like that's not quite prestigious enough, but it's infinitely times better than the current system. So, Blizzard, thank you so much for doing this. I'm really happy. But also, one thing that worries me about if you reach Grandmaster, no matter at what point in the season you will get the reward, is this will promote boosting unlike anything else. Like, that's going to be such a huge issue, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because in World of Warcraft, people would, sell Gladiator and stuff, but you had to be that rating at the end of the season. In Heroes of the Storm, you want the badass mount at the end of the season? Yeah, then okay.
Give me $5.
Exactly. I'm gonna pay some guy $100 to play 50 games, get me Grandmaster, and that to me just upsets me. I wish that it was only if you were Grandmaster at the end of the season, because I don't know how prevalent of an issue this is, but I could definitely see it becoming one if people start to boost and like want to buy boosting, because there will be a market for it.
It's good that you brought up. Like, yeah. But if anyone wants a new mount, you should private message McIntyre.
Oh no!
Sub Sundays, boys. Duo
Sub Sundays. Let's go easy money.
He's already ready. He's got his.
Duo with McIntyre, boys.
What I have to say about the leagues is, like, of course, like, I'm happy, but at this point, I think we all waited, like, for me at least, we waited for it so long that I'm not even hyped anymore, because it should have happened, you know, even some time ago, because we have been, like, I'm hyped of course, but, like, I'm not even, I don't know, it's just been way too long, and the Hero League games have been really struggle lately for me, and I don't know, got too many bad emotions from the Hero League, but I hope this will fix all the issues I personally had with the Hero League, and I guess I am hyped, so yeah, good job, Blizzard, and thank you, like Gloring said. Appreciated that you finally
did it. Top players, yeah, we can fight for the top spots.
Yeah.
Well, it gives us something to do, so cheers.
It's good.
I mean, already Hero League, if you're top 20, Hero League already is ridiculously fun. Like McIntyre, you play on multiple accounts just like I do in Hero League. Like, at least it's reasonably entertaining to go for the top spot in the leaderboard. Without Grandmaster, it's not as fun, obviously. But when GM hits, the number 500...
It'll be more fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to matter that much.
Like, my whole team is going to fight for one.
Yeah.
Like, and that's something fun for us to do. Like, and that's going to encourage my team to get better and practice and play Hero. You know, it's like, it'll give us an incentive. Whereas, like, right now in Hotslog, we have accounts that are high MMR. It's just like, but the system is so wonky. Like, I don't know. It's just not there. Like it'll be when this hits. So
look at the top 200 now. Like, screen cap what was released today. How many of the top 8 how many of those pro players are represented in that top 200? And then 1 to 2 months after Grandmaster is released, take that top 200 and compare the lists.
Yeah.
See how many pro players are on either list. I promise you, it's going to be like an insane amount more of the like top 8 pro players on the Grandmaster ladder than on the current ladder. Like right now, I'd say maybe there's, I don't even know how to guess how many people are on the ladder that are players right now. It's just ridiculously low, at least in NA.
But Grandmaster League, like, do you only queue up with the people who are in Grandmaster League? Does it work
it's
like
Grandmaster
that?
and Master. It's Grandmaster.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
No, I won't get rank 6s on my team.
So
is that what
the
you're saying?
rule
But it's
is,
not about the rank.
Well, the rule is, again, if you're Master, you can play with Master, Grandmaster, Diamond. If you're Diamond, you can play with Diamond, Master, and Platinum. So that is that is how it
Is
works.
that-
Okay.
So boosters are restricted to, like, if you wanted to boost someone from Bronze, you need a Bronze account, right? You have to make a Bronze account.
Sub Sundays are canceled, guys. Sorry, it was a good.
Oh, I when I brought up the boosting thing,
I'm just saying.
I can't actually do it with everyone. But keep going. Sorry.
Rip Sub Sundays.
No
boys.
money.
when I
Rip
brought up
money.
the boosting thing, like, I didn't necessarily only mean duo queue thing, because that parameter is set. You can only duo queue with people so close to your league. Like in WoW, a lot of people who would sell Gladiator and stuff, they would actually log on to the person's account and play their hero for them to get them to Gladiator and stuff like that. And I think there are going to be situations where people do that in Heroes once the Grandmaster rewards for Season 1, Season 2 are going to be released. Like,
Yeah.
I that's my biggest issue with the upcoming matchmaking system.
I think you get those the top tier rewards at, like, what does it say? For the preseason, I think rank 10 and higher get those rewards. So it's probably there's probably no special reward for GM, but it's maybe an avatar, but I believe that the mount will be attained from hitting probably Diamond, honestly, but we'll see. They've only told us the preseason structure. They haven't told us the moving forward structure exactly. But we do need to keep powering through and just give you guys a brief overview because we can't do the full patch notes breakdown. This is a PTR patch. We don't always do that anyways. There's a few things I just wanted to hit in here. So questing talents have received quite a big change with the way they work. Well, there's a lot of new talents that are now questing talents. Seasoned Markman, Regen Master, Conjurer's Pursuit, where it's like basically you get 35 globes and then you get like 300 mana. Dunk, what do you feel about that for Conjurer's Pursuit?
I don't know. Like it seems fine. I don't think it's going to be a huge impact on the heroes that already picked it. It's still pretty much just as good. Like the thing is, the way mana regeneration works and like resource management works is once you are at that 20 stacks or 25 stacks or whatever of conjurers, like you basically have unlimited mana because all the healers are pretty much tuned, so like you can barely go as is. So like once you were at 20 stacks, you literally on task start can press all of your buttons every time they're on cooldown and not run out of mana at like 20 stacks for like 200 seconds or something ridiculous. So once you get to that 20 stacks point, you're at the point where conjurers are where it's no longer relevant really to like get more globes. So it doesn't really change that in my opinion. The big changes are for the regen master one where more health regen is always valuable.
I'm trying to find
you get extra health now.
Yeah.
Like, how many games do you
yeah.
actually get 30 globes on Warrior? Like
almost
unless
never.
Depends on the map.
Right? Like
Well, depends on the map as well.
I guess it's true.
Yeah.
But
It has to be
still,
a
it's
two-lane map.
To me, that breach at 30 will be good. Like extra health to me is better than regen because some tanks just die.
Yeah.
Like they just don't have enough health. So extra health is better than a little more sustained. Where you have like a Nubarak, where if you take Locust Swarm, now you have a bigger health pool to tank more damage with your Locust Swarm, right? So it's like, whereas you have Chin, right? Again, you have a bigger window until you can drink again before you die, so you can take more damage. It's like those are the heroes that I think are going to be good. Zeratul, as Glau brought up earlier, like he'll get more health. Like if you get caught out, like you're not going to get one shot like you do. Like so, I think it's interesting. It'll buff some heroes.
Well, like Sergeant Hammer is like one of the big talking points for Regen Master, and Regen Master like enabling Hammer to be a more viable hero just because it gives us survivability. And I find that to be like weird that that's something a lot of people are talking about. What are your guys' opinions on Regen Master for Hammer?
That makes no sense to me, but I mean,
Okay.
if you're getting hit, if you're getting attacked as Hammer, like, why aren't you playing any other hero? Like,
Yeah.
I guess so. Technically, the Battle Hammer.
All right,
It'll scale with Stone Form, right?
Yay.
And first aid. You get an extra 30 healing. Done, right?
Nice.
Easy life. Glau, what are your thoughts on Season Marksman?
I've never really liked the talent. What does the quest do for it? I haven't read the patch notes. I'm sorry.
The quest gives you an attack speed steroid activated.
Oh, I like that. It's better. But like, I'm the wrong person to ask. I've never really used Season Marksman. I've never really liked it very much. Like, but if it gives attack speed, that's more of an incentive on certain heroes.
30% attack speed for 3 seconds, 1 minute cooldown.
Oh, it's an activatable.
It's a berserk.
So it's like
It's a berserk.
It's berserk.
You get another ability.
Yeah, it's berserk.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
That's
for
why
level 1 talent.
Yeah, it's not
I
bad.
think it's really good.
Like
I think
Rainer
it's
like
really
yeah.
lost Berserk as a result, right? You know, multiple heroes lost Berserk. Is Berserk gone?
Yeah, berserk's gone. They removed
Yeah, it's
it.
just gone. Okay, they just wrapped it in into the ability.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is great.
But like, yeah, on Rainer, right? People are like really hyped about that. Like Rainer and Berserk, you get built in. Like, yeah, it's pretty good. Like Executioner got buffed. I'm sure we'll talk about it here in a sec, right? Didn't it? It's like you get more than just when they're slowed. You get it after they're slowed or something. I don't.
Yeah.
So like that type of stuff could start to come into play. But how many heroes actually benefit from Season Marksman? Like when we sit down and think about it, I mean, to me, it's like only Rainer, right? Like.
Old school
Maybe.
Falstad before they changed to the mage.
But they got rid of Mage. They got rid of
Yeah.
Mage stat, so maybe that comes back.
Yeah.
That could.
Because I could see an attack speed steroid being sick with Falstad. If he had Berserk, for example, is secret weapon still a thing on
What?
PTR?
If
If it is,
I don't think
that would
so.
be pretty sick.
I think
You
it's
get-
fine.
Yeah, it is.
You-
Yeah, it is. It increases your range now, but it only increases.
Oh,
so
that's
they
right.
basically made power throw, secret weapon, and then they nerfed the damage by like 20%. So it's 60%. But I mean, I get what you're saying, right? Like, could be good.
Yeah.
That's it, right? That's like it. Like, that would benefit from an attack speed steroid.
Chad is saying Artanis.
That's
Probably true.
Oh.
potentially true, yeah. I mean, he gets tons of value from his level 4 talent, the E that increases your
For
attack
season.
speed by 40%.
Yeah, I can see
So,
Artanis.
like-
That's kind of cute.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I think Artanis, it would be pretty sick.
So one of the bigger changes is healing wells now have a 15% shield instead of health, and this is just to try to make the healing wells less snipeable from over the wall with longer cooldowns. I think it's a
Yeah.
nice small change to make those wells because it's a very impactful thing being able to snipe a well.
I think that's good. I mean, you never really saw it at competitive, but I am happy that change happened. It shouldn't impact too much in series play.
It's a
It's
quality
just like
of
a
life.
quality of life.
Quality
Yeah,
of life, yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
It's like,
So we're not going to do a full balance breakdown, but BKB, obviously you're a warrior master. What are your opinions of the new Arthas and the noob changes they're making? They're bruisers. They're not primary warriors, but do you think it's
Well-
go ahead.
Yeah, like Arthas is like one of my favorite heroes, and the changes that I saw again, like I didn't try, but I
Right.
saw that you can what his Q build does, and I don't know. I think he'll be one of the strongest bruisers in the game. I feel like he gets insane sustain. Like what's his Q is cooldown? What is it? I play
Q
Arthas, I
cooldown
don't
is
know.
9-second cooldown.
5?
9.
and then you get 2
right?
seconds. You get 2 seconds off.
2 seconds. Yeah, 2 seconds, right? Was it like the for level 4 talent? I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like with the ghouls, and if you manage to get like 2 Qs in the fight, or like I don't know, like he looked kinda strong. He gets a lot of heal, and his damage has also always been good.
I can't wait to do Arthas Kerrigan bat duo. That's gonna be awesome.
No.
You can also like you can write a root, and then you take the E talent that roots as well, and the target is rooted for like what? How many
Yeah,
seconds?
that's the OP.
Yeah,
You
that
take
looks hella
that's
good.
two, bro.
You
That's-
take root cooldown at 1, and then
Yeah.
you hit it, so it's on a 6-second cooldown. Then your E roots, and then your W roots back up. Like you can root someone
Yeah.
for 5-6 seconds. Like
So
It's crazy.
I even know I even tried the talent builds, and I think I came up with one, but yeah, I don't know if I have it.
BKB,
But you can ask others. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about Icebound Fortitude at level 7? It's
I think that talent's sick.
Yeah, it's
Which one?
25%. It's 25% damage reduction and 75% basically CC reduction for 3 seconds. It's a 50-second cooldown. But I found when I playtested him, if I grabbed Icebound Fortitude with Ghouls, Army of the Dead, you can't die. You can't die.
That's
I think to
the
give it the-
build. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think giving it to a bruiser that deals a lot of damage and has a lot of CC and control in a fight, I think it's dumb. And it also synergizes really good with the ultimate, like you said. So, I don't
do you
know.
guys-
It will be strong.
How do you guys feel about his level 20s? I think the new ones are actually really cool. Death's Advance, and Anti-Magic Shell. I think both of those look actually really cool.
Anti-Magic Shell looks insanely good.
Yeah,
Death's
and that's
Advance doesn't look that good. I have to be honest. Like, do you really think that's enough move speed to matter?
Probably not, but it'll just be fun to be able to use a pseudo sprint on Arthas, like
I
as
wish-
a player. But
I wish Death's Advance had been like in League they have an item called Dead Man's Plate or something, I think now, where like the longer you're running at a target, like you get faster and faster and faster. I feel like that would have been the feel you want for Arthas, but just like the flat 10% with like an activatable 30% is like not that impressive. I was underwhelmed when I read that talent.
Yeah,
but
but
Anti-Magic Shell looks insane.
You think about that 10% movement speed with Frozen Tempest that roots people, and then body blocks and like he's just gonna destroy nerds. So
Yeah.
Do you guys think he'll be more niche, like,
no,
especially when it comes to late game with anti-magic shell? Do you think auto attackers are going to be stronger against him, like just on principle? Like if you see an Arthas early on in the draft, are you going to want to shift your comp to be way more AD focused? Like I actually haven't played with or against the new Arthas, but reading some of these talents makes me really hyped for him. But I wonder how much counterplay there is if you were to secure Greymane with Executioner or like Raynor and just blow through the Arthas with auto attacks. I wonder how much weaker he'd feel versus, like, for example, KT Li Ming. You have that on one team. Arthas post level 20 just won't die.
I think he's gonna be tier 1. I think he's gonna be first
Yes.
pick.
I do too.
I think it'll be
so,
first
too.
pick. I think you brought up a good enable Executioner. We haven't talked about it. It got buffed. Like
That's true.
Oh, dude.
That's
Arthas
true.
is sick with Executioner.
yeah, like can't miss his roots because of his talent choices now. Like his early game's gonna be insane.
Honestly-
his late game's gonna be good. Like everything about him is good.
Wait. Just let me say,
ahead.
but he always had an issue with engage though. Like his only engage is pretty much hitting the
Yeah,
root.
he's a bruiser.
Right?
He's a bruiser. So take an engage warrior. Take a Murden.
No, I'm just. I was just thinking him even running as a solo warrior, but I still think it's not the best option.
I think
Yeah.
they buffed.
Wait.
They buffed Howling Blast on base. I don't think it's noted here, but it does feel faster and longer.
The
What
level
I'm
13
saying-
talent
Well, you
that
take the
increases
13
range
talent,
too
yeah.
is insane.
There's
30%
no
range is
reason-
a lot.
There's no reason not to take that. Like, if you're watching this, go to PTR, take that 13 talent, click the W, and just look at how far that is. Like, you can show the stream, Jake. Like, it's stupid. Like, that is really unnecessarily far. Like, I think that's the talent that people are overlooking right now. And it pairs with your level 1. Like, he's an insane hero. Obviously, I haven't scrimmed with him, but it's like that talent, his talent choices with any other warrior, just seeing.
Oh my god!
Because you get the radius too. Like you get an additional range on top of the range because it's an AOE. Like
Who needs Centrigosa?
yeah, it's pretty dumb.
But the thing, what I was saying about Arthas solo warrior is just like with the like you can. He has 3 ways to build talents pretty much. You can go 3 ways, you know. And actually, when you take the defense, like when you take the, for example, 25% damage reduction and CC reduction, you can even run him as a solo warrior if you get like, I don't know, like troll in your team that has engage. What I'm saying is that he will be so flexible that is also one of the reasons why he will be the first pick, you know?
Yeah.
Like
you don't lock yourself in at all when you take it.
yeah, you can go whatever you want to go, you know? Like
Yeah.
And if you
It
follow
does seem
EU,
that way.
you can do solo task support, which Arthas gets by doing. Like NA doesn't do it, but he's a hero that enables solo task support.
Yeah.
So with these talks of banning supports, if you get tasks, like you don't need a support anymore. I don't know. I think the hero is going to be insane.
He's going to be godly. Anubarak also much better. Got a bunch of talent tweaks and damage in general. Just numbers up for a noob. He just feels impactful. Like burrow charge, especially if you get at level 16, it sucks to be on the receiving end of a big burrow charge, and it feels like a noob isn't as at risk all the time because I think he has cooldown reduction if you land the burrow charge. But we're gonna have to go through the full breakdown of those patches when they actually hit because who knows what will be tweaked in the PTR. So we'll save that for a future show. All things considered, though, I think the game's gonna change a lot with the addition of Chromie, the changes of Arthas and a noob, and I don't know where Falstad will sit. I think he'll still see play. He's just seems like he's a little bit less safe, just a slightly different hero that's a little bit more high risk, high reward mage, more of like a because the safety Falstad, especially in quick match when you see Falstad's going with static shield and first aid, he can't do that anymore. So he's definitely a different hero. First aid's gone, etc. Yeah, we Dreamhack Tours. We didn't really get to talk about it, but BKB, you're flying there in a few hours, right?
in 3 hours.
Oh God, dude.
Nice.
Gucci, but I'm not gonna sleep. Like, I think I'm gonna sleep in the plane and in the airport because I have to wait 6 hours in the airport. But I'm gonna meet
Oh.
guys. Yeah, like I know it sucks, but like I'm gonna meet guys from my Insanity. I already wrote to Splendor on
Oh, that's good.
WhatsApp, so we're
Mhm.
gonna have a chat. Like, there's gonna be also, I think I have the same train with Snitch, Bakery, Atiro, so the UK guys. So I think it's fine. I'll just
Cool, man.
and
What do you think about your group?
so a group. Well, obviously we have easier group than the second one because they have like 3 strong teams. Like, but for us, like it doesn't matter what group we have because you still have to beat finals. You know, you have to still go to finals. You have to beat the team in the finals. Like I personally don't care about money so much, so I wouldn't like if we're not like I would maybe even rather have like strong teams, like for example Dignitas in our group, so we don't have to face them in semis and in
Oh.
finals, you know. So it's easier for us to qualify for the worlds. Like
So
that's
it'd be
an
like-
example.
With your current group, it's easier to get like 4th place, but you would rather have a
Yes,
group,
exactly.
yeah, where you would get 5th or 6th place, but
Yeah.
have a better chance of making it to the final.
Yes.
Yeah.
Third, fourth is nice. You get money, yay! But still, like I wanna go to Worlds. I wanna meet the A boys. I wanna play like in yeah.
You want to
the
get weird
love,
with
man.
McIntyre.
Yes, and yeah, I just wanna play in Worlds. You know, when I'm in Worlds, then I wanna try to win it. You know, but the first time I would really wanna just go to the Worlds. I wanna achieve that goal. But we'll see. Like I'm always confident, and I believe in my boys. We just have to not draft shit, and I think we're Gucci.
Turns out if you draft shit, guys, you lose.
Is Tracer
Yeah.
playable?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
excited to watch
fine.
that.
Yeah. Some teams run her, but in Europe, I don't know. I don't think she's that strong.
Okay.
If like in team fights, if you stick as a 5, like I mean, you can control her. Like before the nerf, she was really strong. Like there were heroes that would even like make her even more stronger. But after the nerf, she kind of fell down, at least in Europe. So I don't know.
That's good. All right, well, guys, that DreamHack Tours is going to be happening this weekend. Starts on Friday, or is it? No, it's
yes.
today even.
No. Yes, it's Friday. It's tomorrow. Like for me, it's tomorrow because it's already past midnight. So it starts
BKB.
on Friday.
You crazy nerd. Well,
Yes.
no, it says 13-14, only 2 days.
Oh.
So
Yep.
So it starts on May 14th based on Liquipedia, but that'll be going down. You can root for BKB and Team Liquid there, or all of your favorite teams. But we do need to go to the shout-outs, and well, let's start with you, Glau, baby.
All right. First of all, I'd like to shout out my team. We didn't make it to Sweden like we wanted it to, but like day 1 we played not so great. Day 2 we really stepped it up, and everyone on my team, they're awesome to hang out with, and everyone has a good mentality towards working forward. And then in April I got rank 1, so I want to thank my duo partners, mostly like Cattle and Wiz. Lots of fun playing with them, like outside of practice. And besides that, shout outs to sponsors and stuff like that. But that's it for me.
McIntyre.
Yeah, so shout out to my team as well. Hopefully, when we go to Sweden, we can get Sweden barbecue.
What? Is that a thing?
I don't know, because we've gotten Korean and we've gotten Texan barbecue. So we'll look for Sweden barbecue when we're there. Yeah, those guys are great. And shout out to my fitness consigliere, Michelle, and my manager, Taza, aka Pat, and obviously Wiz too. He's been really helpful for the team and me as a player. So I think, and I guess we don't have sponsors yet, but maybe soon we'll be able to shout those out. But for now, that's it for me. So.
Yeah, same thing with us. It's always awkward when you're like, yeah, shout out to the sponsors. Oh wait,
Soon, team.
Dunk Train.
Yeah, so I'm here standing Town Hall for the first time in a long time, so that's pretty cool. And I'm going to be starting doing more streams since my standing desk is working. My new PC is all fired up, and I'm pretty hyped about all that. So look forward to seeing you guys there, twitch.tv/dunktrain. And again, happy that the rumors of our demise were greatly exaggerated, and we showed up to Austin at least and put in some work. So shout outs to my team and everyone who makes that possible, Cloud9, the org, etc. So thank you guys.
You've been standing for 2.5 hours now?
Yeah.
Dude, that's not the nerd life.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
He's standing right now, BKB. That's a standing desk.
Yeah, look. See? Hello?
I see.
You want to see me lower it? I can lower it.
Yeah.
And Sean can. Okay.
Bring us down.
The live. Oh God, what's going on?
Hello?
Is there an earthquake in Vegas?
There you go. Now we're at sitting desk height, and you can see that my chair is at the appropriate height if I wanted to do that. But yeah, so I definitely recommend those.
Sweet.
Gucci, man.
Gucci. BKB.
Gucci. Yeah, first of all, I want to say thanks. Want to say thanks to McIntyre and Glorin to coming to episode. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. Got hell of a laugh, and it was nice conversations. Want to also say that I'm glad that I'm back on the show, because I disappeared, and yeah, I had some stuff with the team going on. We were in the UK and boot camping, so I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
And hopefully it stays like that because of the schedule. And I also want to say that, guys, you should not hate on Artelon, because you don't actually know him, and the things he says, you don't have to take it serious. No, but seriously, there's too much waste of emotions, I would say. So don't hate on Artelon. And and shout out to my team, and hopefully we can manage to qualify for Sweden. I really hope so. And yeah, that's it.
Well, best of luck to you this weekend in Dreamhack Tours.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mac, Dunk, Glau, it was wonderful seeing you this weekend. I hope to see you all in a few weeks at the next regional. Should be a lot of fun when we get there. And thanks to all the viewers for tuning in tonight here on TownHall Heroes, episode 106. We'll be back next week with 107 to talk about, presumably patch notes, because I think Chromie will be actually releasing next week. So we'll be going through the actual full patch notes breakdown and a little bit more in depth on all those topics. Of course, I'll be tuning in to watch BKB on Saturday, but on Sunday I will be casting the NA qualifier. And I'll actually be casting it with Glaurung, which is going to be a rare treat. Glau's going to be stepping in on the mic. We've done it once or twice in the past, and we'll be doing that this weekend. So look forward to that. That'll be the third ESL NA qualifier this Sunday. On that note, though, that does it for us here at Town Hall. I love you all. GG.